Body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text CHEST to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone-boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text CHEST to 42424. That's CHEST to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bank. That's bank. Enter it now.
It's your chance at an inflation vacation. Go to ESPNAVL.com and good luck.
Live from the Ingles studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog eat! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy, heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app, and we are seen everywhere on the YouTubes. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and that way you can join us in the chat for today's program, where we'll be ranking the quarterbacks at the midseason point.
Tank and I, but we poured over it. We have a ranking that we feel solid about, and here's how it worked. We went starting quarterback if all things were equal, minus season-ending injuries. So for Cleveland, it's Jameis Winston instead of Sean Watson.
Mm-hmm.
Will Levis is the quarterback for Tennessee. We have to win a game to save our lives. What order are we taking the quarterbacks in? And Tank, I feel good about the ranking.
It's pretty good.
Feel solid about it.
Yeah.
There's going to
be.
We
only came to damn near blows over one player, and you'll find out who that is when we get there.
Because your opinion is ridiculous.
Which is the popular opinion of said quarterback. But like I said, we'll get to it.
Well, here's the thing. The popular opinion 4 years ago was Joe Biden. See how that worked out? Sometimes maybe you ought to take a right when everybody else takes a left.
That's only what they want you to believe.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We are just 1 week away from Halloween. We're
I was about to be like, where are we going here?
Oh, it is, but it's crazy to think that we are under 2 weeks away from that big old day.
We're a month away from Thanksgiving. We're
interesting.
Almost 2 months to the day away from Christmas.
Lot of interesting. How the time flies when you're old as hell. Welcome into the program. Hopefully we can take your mind off some things here over the next few hours of the program. We will be doing the midseason quarterback ranking, also looking at the storylines, buyers and sellers ahead of the trade deadline, and we got another move made in the NFL.
Yep. Go ahead and detail it.
The Kansas City Chiefs have added a wide receiver, and they will add DeAndre Hopkins. And they get the Titans get a conditional 4th-round pick in the trade, and DeAndre Hopkins now has a legitimate quarterback. So the question is, does that matter? Is DeAndre Hopkins the answer that the Chiefs' offense needs?
You do realize that this is a guy that's averaged about 600 yards the last 4 years.
Yes.
I don't understand why this is such a big deal to people.
Because
DeAndre Hopkins looks cooked. He's a 32-year-old receiver.
Does he look cooked, or is he just not what he used to be and he has the worst quarterback in the league?
I don't argue that his quarterback situation was not ideal. I guess I look at Kansas City now and go, am I supposed to feel better about this?
Yes, you should 100% feel better about this.
I don't know that I do.
I don't know why you wouldn't. Just
you want me to
having
tell
the
you?
name alone is better than anything you had.
You want me to tell you why I don't?
Yeah.
Because the last time he finished the season, Donald Trump was president. That's 4 years ago, in case you didn't understand the reference.
Mm-hmm.
He's already hurt. I have very little doubt that he probably winds up hurt again. To me, this is a drop in the bucket. Okay, so you've got a physical receiver that I guess he can count on that doesn't separate well. I think he already has that guy, and his name is Tay-Tay's boyfriend.
Tay-Tay's boyfriend.
I mean, if I'm looking at Kansas City, the problem that I have is that you don't have anybody that's beating people over the top. So you got a receiver that I think right now runs about a 4.7.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't do anything for me. And you're telling me I could have had Amari Cooper for a 3, I can have DeAndre Hopkins for a 4. And I get it. The money's different. He's way cheaper. He's way cheaper because he's way less of a player.
Mm-hmm.
You acquired a name. You didn't really acquire a difference maker. I'll go ahead and tell you, Kansas City would be my favorite. I took Houston before the season, and I'm not buoying off of that to win the Super Bowl. But through 8 weeks, it's hard to say. Kansas City's still the front runner, but this doesn't change squat for me.
Mm-hmm.
I've just seen too many of these deals where you bring in the aging receiver, you hear a name, everybody loses their minds, they run to their waiver wire in fantasy football to go pick this guy up, and then he winds up 27 catches for 243 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And he got in the he got in the end zone that one time.
That has happened before. Yes, it's happened many, many times.
About 80% of the times we do this.
DeAndre Hopkins was a 1,000-yard receiver just last year. So
in a 17-game year where he played all 17 games, didn't start them all, and he was hurt a couple of times. You do realize in a 17-game schedule that means he averaged, 62 yards a game.
Yep.
Whoopie-doo.
What was Juju Smith-Schuster's? I'll bet you it was higher than that or lower than that.
And he was in,
I mean, but when I hear you say this doesn't mean anything to me, how could it not mean anything to you? They automatically have the best receiver on their team now. Like he wasn't there before, and now he is.
I don't agree with you.
Who is it?
Travis Kelce, Xavier Worthy. I take them both over him right now, and it's not even close.
Wow.
To me, it's not even close on either one of them.
Okay.
Now, this can be a safety blanket that maybe Pat Mahomes trusts. I don't really understand what is supposed to send me about a guy that has never been open all year long. Yes, Will Levis is terrible. Will Levis doesn't run your routes.
Mm-hmm.
You know why you're not catching balls? Because you're never open. Same problem with Calvin Ridley. You can get inundated with targets. You're still never open. I'm not upset by it. It's not that I don't understand why you did it. This is just one of those moves that I go, this didn't move the needle for me even a little bit.
It's just the rich getting richer. And now Patrick Mahomes does have a receiver that he should be able to trust. It may take some time, obviously. You should expect it to take some time to have a little bit of rapport built between the two of them. But if DeAndre Hopkins still has any shade of old D-Hop in him, which he probably does, Patrick Mahomes is going to find it. He would get it out of him. At least that's what my heart tells me. That's what my head tells me. They were already the number one team in the NFL, and they were already the favorite. This just gave them a little separation for me.
And to me, you're grossly overvaluing this. I don't look at that receiving core any differently than I did.
Mm-hmm.
You might have fractionally gotten better. You still have a huge deficit to the Houston Texans in weapons. I will say you're now better than the Baltimore Ravens. Congratulations. In terms of your receiving core. It doesn't mean anything. Pat Mahomes makes everybody better. But you still didn't fix the problem that this offense has, which is you're not producing big chunk plays. The Kansas City Chiefs at this point are a defensive football team with the best quarterback in the league. This doesn't change that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, pull up the Chiefs schedule.
Okay.
Name me the game that you think they win now that they didn't win before.
Oh, there's not one.
Exactly.
There's not one. We had already talked yesterday about they could possibly go undefeated if everything went right.
And outside of Buffalo and maybe Houston, I still don't see a game that you're going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
You will because you're the Chiefs, and that's what you do. But you get into the playoffs, and I'm looking at a 32-year-old receiver who deteriorates every single year and has since he was 28 years old. And do you really, honest to God, think this is actually going to do anything in January? Because I don't.
You don't think he'll be there for it?
It's not that I don't think he'll be there. I just think at 32 years old, you get beat up. I pulled the ages of wide receivers in the NFL. How many receivers active right now do you think are older than DeAndre Hopkins?
Oh, I don't know. 3?
One. Keenan Allen. That's it. Here's the other list of names around him. Cordero Patterson, who's still technically a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Woods. Allen Robinson. Devontae Adams. Odell Beckham Jr. You hear any real impact there outside of Devontae? And the only reason I say he's one's because he's with his bestest friend that has this unbreakable bond that nobody can get in between. I've got a receiver that's never worked with anybody on this coaching staff, does not know this playbook, does not really fit into this scheme. Like, just go ahead and tell me the big-bodied physical possession receiver that's ever worked with Pat Mahomes. I'll wait because there ain't one. He's worked with over-the-top burners. That's the reason that I thought this was never going to happen because it doesn't really change anything. The difference between Justin Watson and DeAndre Hopkins is not that tremendous to me. You're looking at a legit 2. Yay. You still need Xavier Worthy to be the one. Because you need somebody that can pop over the top when we get into the playoffs, and that doesn't fix this. All right,
but let
me ask you this.
Okay.
What would have been a better move for the Kansas City Chiefs? What you've done here with DeAndre Hopkins or trading for Deontay Johnson with the Carolina Panthers? Because to me, that's not even close.
Oh, you think Deontay would be the better choice?
Not even kind of close. He can beat people over the top. It's not what he does, but he can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I would have preferred you went Cooper Kupp. I get it. Money. I'm well aware of why they didn't.
Right.
I see all these people going, well, now Kansas City's the Super Bowl favorite. I don't understand what changed here. I got absolutely nothing as to what has changed here.
Okay.
He's the 3 in this pecking order, and I would say there's a better than 50% chance he plays less than 10 games total.
Mm-hmm. Hey, maybe it'll give him a boost. Maybe it won't.
Look, I pull for the king of the team that is the king of teams in doing something just like this. Percy Harvin, line 1. Hey, let's go get a receiver that's not really working out somewhere else, but because we bring him here, midseason, he doesn't know the playbook, it's going to be awesome. Oh, wait. Would you like me to tell you Percy Harvin's greatest hits with the New York Jets? Would you like me to tell it to you again? Because that was it.
I also feel like there's a big old difference there between the two of them.
Yeah, there was. Percy Harvin was 4 years younger. Percy Harvin could still beat people off the line. DeAndre Hopkins doesn't do that.
He was a good receiver, though.
No, he was a weapon.
Right.
I'm not telling you it's an apples-to-apples comparison.
I get it, but I'm saying, to me, there's no comparison between those two players. Getting DeAndre Hopkins at 38 years old would be far and away the better move than getting Percy Harvin at 21 right out of college.
Yeah, and to me, they're about equivalent. That's why I use that example.
Yeah,
I think you're going to see about that much of an effect.
Yeah.
He hasn't been that guy. Oh, he didn't have a quarterback in Tennessee. Well, he did in Arizona. and that didn't matter for squat. Kyler Murray
he had a quarterback.
Yeah, Kyler Murray is a.
Kyler missed a lot of time in that time, though, didn't he? Didn't he have Clayton Tune for several games? And I'm just off the top of my head. Wasn't that all during the time that Kyler was hurt and out for a season? And
well, the out for a season, he was in Tennessee.
Okay,
because that was last year. And then you had 3 years in Arizona where he was great for one of them when he was 28.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought DeAndre Hopkins was a receiver that's not going to age particularly well, and he hasn't. He's had a ton of injuries, and I don't know. Maybe I'm undervaluing it. I don't think I am.
Yeah.
All right, power rank the receiver moves. 1, 2, 3. Amari Cooper, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins.
Well, that's not close.
Exactly.
I mean,
that's my point.
Well, yeah,
it's
if
treated like it's
sure,
close.
if you could have gone and if you could have gotten those other two guys, or they made sense for you, then yes, they would have been better options.
Those are actually moves that would have moved a needle. This is a name that you're getting past his prime, and it just doesn't send me. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
But we do have 2 super chats before we go into the first commercial break, and they're both rather large ones.
All right. We're on the wrong page here. There we go.
One job.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
I'm going to get a little sign like Wile E. Coyote that just says one job. The first one's from Red C. Said, missed yesterday's show, but how about them Cardinals? You should take a victory lap at that. You really should. Hey, look, we said nice things about your Cardinals yesterday. They're a team that I don't really want to deal with. And nobody wanted to talk about this. The Cardinals have a lot of say in the playoffs. Not because I think they're going to make it, but go up and down that schedule and look at how many teams that have playoff aspirations that they play.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and tell you, as a fan of one of those teams, I'm not chalking that up.
Yeah, no, they could definitely be the burr in the saddle of many teams that are trying to make the playoffs, and they're going to be, by a slim margin. You're just not one of them.
Oh, and make no mistake, I don't think they're making the playoffs, but I think they can have a big hand in who does. And then we've got one more from our buddy Adam Scarborough.
All right.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
He said you guys crushed it during storm coverage, but glad to have some daily dumbassery back as a dose of normalcy. Tank, is this an appropriate time to discuss our schedule for the next few days?
Yeah, we can schedule.
I don't know what I'm allowed to say.
I mean, I don't really know what I'm allowed to say either. Let's just put it this way. Next week is going to be a little weird. I am not going to be here the first 2 days of next week. The adoring public has called once again, and Mark and I are going to be busy for the first 2 days of next week.
Tank has to do something really cool. Really cool.
Really cool.
And I need to take a couple days to, make sure that we're not going to starve to death. Because I
was going to say, phrase that appropriately in the way you phrased it to me earlier. I need a couple of days to sit in my underwear. Is what I heard.
Well, that was what I said about I am going to put out a mock draft next Tuesday because we will be gone Monday and Tuesday. That's usually Overreaction Monday and Power Rankings Tuesday. We will do Power Rankings on Wednesday, and then we will slide into football as it normally would be. I will do something Monday. I don't know what it is yet. And
we'll have some sort of overreaction happening.
Yeah,
on
and
Monday.
I might do it for an hour by myself. I just can't sit in a room and talk to myself.
Yep.
It's not a skill that I really have.
Yeah.
So the schedule is going to change just a little bit. We've got stuff happening.
Yes.
So
and once I get the word that I can share all of the good news with you guys, and more ways that you can see me on your televisions, I will pass those along to you. I'm still kind of in awe of all of this, and we appreciate all of the well wishes and the congratulations and the attaboys and stuff for our coverage during Hurricane Helene. It's been phenomenal, and I'll take this time, as I always do, to remind everyone, if you'd still like to help out, of Of course, there are a lot of people out there that still need help. Heartswithhands.org. Make a financial donation. It won't take much out of your time, and it will mean the world to so many people who are still hurting here in Western North Carolina. But as long as the phone calls keep coming in to keep this hurricane relief effort in the news, we're going to take every opportunity that we can. And so next week, that's going to be a couple of days away from the Sportsocracy here so that we can make sure that Western North Carolina stays in everybody's minds, hearts, and wallets.
Yes.
For the foreseeable future.
Because that's the thing.
Absolutely.
We got a long way to go.
Yeah.
I got a little...
Everybody around Asheville is, they're everybody's excited for the fact that 95% of our water system has water flowing through it, but that's still a problem that it's not potable water, and we've still got months to go in the recovery of actually returning to good, clean mountain water and having all of the roads rebuilt and having, people's homes put back together and making sure that every little old lady has a roof over her head for the winter season. We've got a long way to go. We got a lot of things happening this weekend. The concert for Carolina. Jeremy and I will be there at Bank of America Stadium for the big concert with Luke Combs and Eric Church and James Taylor and the Avett brothers and Billy Strings and all those people coming together to raise money for Western North Carolina. And we want to do everything that we can to make sure that we stay top of mind for people in this busy news cycle. Because, like I said, next week coming up, I made a joke that Halloween's coming up. The real important thing is a week and a half after that is Election Day. Mm-hmm. And that takes us right out of the news cycle.
For days, maybe
for a
weeks.
long time. For a long time, right? Because if this is a contested election, it's going to be forever, right?
I mean, how many times did you hear hanging Chad and lockbox?
The lockbox.
Lockbox.
So anyway, we will continue to do our part, and we are more than happy to do it for the people of Western North Carolina. We got one more super chat, and then we'll take a break.
Yes.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Or we have a pullback.
Yes,
little back pedal.
And you know what? Nobody understands saying something out of anger more than me because I do it a lot.
Sir Jimothy, the more I looked at it, I was wrong about Rodgers. He said, "I let my hate of the Packers misjudge the facts. I stand corrected." Thank you, Jimothy.
See, that's what you do,
right? Exactly. When you say something stupid, and we go, "That was dumb." And then you can come back and you can say, okay, you know what, guys, I thought about it. You're right. That was dumb.
You're right.
That's all we ask. I say stupid stuff all the time, and I'm more than happy to admit it when I'm wrong.
I once had a guy in a bar look at me and go, Reggie Wayne was better than Randy Moss. And I went, I swear to you, it was like a ayahuasca trip of I lost 2 weeks of my life. It was just ingrained in my head.
Did you
take it? It's like that old Lewis Black joke. If it weren't for my horse, I wouldn't have spent that year in college. And it got in my head, and it kept ringing around, and I couldn't deal with it. And then I toured with the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah.
I went to a Fish concert. I don't know how I got to where I got to.
Did you take his drink away from him?
No, I drank like 11 on top of it to go, I'm trying to make this make sense, and it doesn't.
I would have had to taken his drink away from him and then drink his drink just to take the edge off of the stupidity that was in the room.
I've always said what would be a really fun daily draft is what are the dumbest things that anybody's ever said to you? Because I will tell you, one of them came out of my mouth, which was, Mom, Dad, I'm getting ready to get married. The first 2 times. Third time, very smart. First 2, not so much. I had a guy tell me Steely Dan is the most underrated artist of this generation.
Okay. I mean, was he part of that generation 2 generations ago? Or because that, I mean, maybe. I mean,
nope.
No. I mean, I'm not agreeing. I'm just saying there could be an argument to be made for that. They were wonderful musicians. Their songs just didn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
really touched me.
Steely Dan was great for people that they like to smoke crimes. And if you're one of those people, good on you. I'm not.
It's nothing like rolling up a little wooer and listening to some Cousin Dupree. That's just take me away, Crimson Tide.
I enjoyed the way you said that.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We'll be right back.
Don't go hungry in the wake of Hurricane Helene. Western North Carolinians who lost income and have disaster-related expenses can get help buying food with DSNAP, the Disaster Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Call 1-844-453-1117 today, or find where you can apply at www.ncdhhs.gov/DSNAP. Apply by October 24th. Get help, get DSNAP, get food. 1-844-453-1117.
When it comes to electrical needs in Asheville, trust the experts at Grigg Electric. Veteran-owned and operated, Grigg Electric is Asheville's #1 choice for electrical services. They offer a variety of electrical services for residential, commercial, or industrial installations in Buncombe, Henderson, Madison, McDowell, and Yancey counties. Call Grigg Electric today, 828-232-0021. That's 828-232-0021. Serving Western North Carolina since 1976. Online at griggelectric.com.
Going to big box retailers for batteries? Flag on the play. Locally owned Rainy Battery has the lowest prices on all your battery needs. Don't fumble when you can find everything from watch batteries to batteries for cars, RVs, trucks, golf carts, and more at Rainy Battery. Get brands you know and trust like AC Delco, Motorcraft for the lowest prices, plus custom battery cables made in-house. Go to rainybattery.com or stop in today for a quote. That's rainybattery.com.
When you're hiring, ZipRecruiter's technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. What if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chips and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town packaged fresh every day. And smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real. In the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Alabama, the Crimson Tide. They call me Deacon Blues.
This is what
That's
I deal with
Steely
all
Dan.
day.
Yeah, there we go.
That's what I deal with all day, every day.
Where you up, Stone Sports Podcast?
You know,
let's go.
When I was a young man, and I thought about being successful in my older age, I never thought that success would be coming from sitting across from Cheech and Chong's lame-ass nephew that wanted to listen to Steely Dan and Fish.
I'm not a big Fish fan. I'm just not.
Also, all the other recreational musics are more your...
Yeah.
I don't know what those are. The Grateful Dead.
Not terrible. I'm not a big jam band guy all that much. Mo and the string cheese incident and...
I can't repeat that comment.
I always love it when we get comments.
I cannot repeat that comment, but Gambit fan, just good for you. That's wow. I can't say that, but
Stone says he's out on Steely Dan. That's fine.
You ruined Sir Jimothy's lunch.
Yeah.
Free lunch for somebody.
It's all right.
After watching Tank's
my little overbite dance. I like the
you do the club overbite. Just
oh yeah. You gotta tuck that lip in, brother. You're gonna trip on it.
Oh boy, you know.
And this is why you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the program. It is a Wednesday afternoon. Just having some fun. A little dumbassery here to take the edge off. We're going to get into the quarterback ranking coming up at the top of the next hour, correct? Isn't that the plan?
Yes.
Yes. Quarterback ranking. We'll rank them all 32-1. You can probably guess who number one is.
Oh, by the way.
We all know.
We have breaking news.
I love breaking news because it gives me a chance to dance.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
Tuck it tight.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
I'm going to hear that phrase in my nightmares. This is from Brady Henderson. The Seattle Seahawks are trading Jerome Baker and a fourth-round draft pick to the Tennessee Titans for one Ernest Jones IV.
Woo.
This will be his second trade in a little over 2 months.
Yes, it will. That's a good pickup, though. I like Ernest Jones.
I do, too. I'm a little shocked of all the pieces that you can move if you were Tennessee. So basically what you're telling me is that Tennessee has decided they need to ship anything out of town that is not nailed to the floor.
Which I feel like there are several teams that should be doing this. I feel like the Raiders should do this. I don't know who you'd get rid of at this point. I mean, I know everybody wants to say, oh, Max Crosby. Max Crosby would be owed $120 million right now, right?
It's not as much as you thought.
Was it not?
No, we went down that rabbit hole. He's only got like $10 million guaranteed dollars in that whole deal.
Really?
Yeah. So the dead cap hit wouldn't be that bad.
Well, maybe not.
I will say that a Raiders yard sale would look like a yard sale outside of a Fish concert. We have got a lovely Thayer Munford for you, if you would like that.
Thayer Munford. He even sounds like a jam band instrument.
Can I interest you in a Thayer Munford?
No, thank you. I'll not be doing any Thayer Munford. That's the guard?
How about a Charles Snowden?
Charles
Snowden. That sounds like somebody that got arrested for treason.
Bingo.
Was that his name?
It was Edward Snowden.
Edward Snowden.
But, yeah, it's his cousin.
Robert Spillane for a conditional 5th-round XFL draft pick. That sounds
Robert Spillane.
How's that fit your...
Is Brian Cushing still available? Can we...
You put that in your pipe and smoke it. How about that? We'll give you Napoleon Kaufman for the low price of $8.
That was a throwback.
Oh, I could do this all day.
Look at you.
This is one of my favorite games. Name the most random person that you can think of that played for a team.
That is pretty good. I like that. Reggie Cobb.
Tim Dwight.
Tim Dwight.
He was there.
He was there.
Wasn't there for long, but he was there.
He's a wide receiver?
Yes.
Cardinals?
He
played for the Cardinals for a while?
He was with the Falcons, the Raiders, good Lord, who all did he play for?
Red Sea. You remember Tim Dwight, don't you? I think he played for the Cardinals
John
at one point.
Skelton. That's my favorite one. That one it almost like screws with people's brains.
So, okay, so while you said that, and I had to look up the Max Crosby thing. All right, so he's under contract.
Yes.
The cap hit on him next year. Oh, I see what you're saying. The dead cap hit.
Yeah.
Wow. How's that structure happen? Interesting.
Because you gave all the guaranteed money up front.
Yeah. Okay. So they had like, all right.
Teams
dead
that
cap would be $15 million over the next 2 years. I thought it would be
aren't the New Orleans Saints do tend to look at the cap and go, well, we would like to have money to spend. I don't know, when the children of our current roster are eligible to be drafted in the NFL.
Then this is one of those moments where I have to apologize for all of the bad things that I said about Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans yesterday, and how stupid they were.
You were right. You just got the name wrong.
Well, I mean, look, when they said we should trade for Max Crosby, my first thought was, good God, they just signed him to a $100 million deal. There's no way that anybody could afford to trade him with the dead cap hit on that.
Well,
and so I called them many stupid names, and
then you
was
run
wrong.
into the fact that he's not a scheme fit for what you do, which is why they were still stupid.
They don't matter. That doesn't matter to
No,
fans.
it's because you all played Madden for way too long.
Absolutely. You just slide anybody
I got
in there.
Max Crosby, I got Von Miller, and I got Khalil Mack.
I got nothing less than a 96 in my front seven.
One of them's going to play inside linebacker. You just hear me out.
Yep.
I'm going to send 6 on every play, and you won't be able to do nothing.
Putting Max Crosby at defensive tackle, he's going to tear up them centers.
I'm going to put Khalil Mack at cornerback.
17 interceptions in one season, baby.
We have a slew of super chats.
Yeah,
the whole
it's
first
fine.
hour of this show is just carnage.
It's all good.
We've talked about fish and wooers. By the way, that piece of pizza right there, that's a Jeremy wooer. I don't know who brought that. I don't know what pie squared is, but
it's very good.
Holy heber jeebers, that is a fine pie.
There's some good Detroit-style pizza there. And we're going to have some more of that tomorrow. So Christy brought us buddies
That's
from Detroit.
You want to know how you tell somebody you love them? When you go to Detroit, you bring them back a buddy's pizza and you freeze it so we can put it in an air fryer and it'll be just like it was brought to us in Detroit, because that's love. That is what friends do, and that is why we love Christy, and she is the best.
Yes. Let's hit Super Chat here.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
I'm going to let you read that first one there, wooer.
This one came to us from Adam Scarborough.
Yep.
Fish Mo dead. You just crushed my soul tank talking down about the most musically talented bands there are. He's not wrong. As a group and individually, the members of those bands are fantastic musicians. Awesome. I just wish to God they all played the same song. That's the problem I have with Fish and Mo and String Cheese Incident and Acoustic Syndicate and all of those bands. Nobody's playing the same damn song.
You just full-on Jim Harbaugh spit on your computer.
I did.
I need somebody to clip that so that I can isolate it with a little arrow that just says the Holy Spirit.
That, my friends, is why you have to tuck the lip in so you don't spit on the board.
Okay, and now, Adam Scarborough, I respect your musical taste, but if you're talking about the most musically talented bands, you had a weird way of saying Creed, the Crash Test Dummies, and...
It's definitely not the Crash Test Dummies.
For sure.
It's a great band. Yeah, I don't think
it's a great band. And Hootie and the Blowfish. That was the third one.
Well, I mean, we got to give it to Darius.
For sure.
I mean, no doubt.
Yeah. Hootie, awesome. Blowfish, you were there.
Yeah.
You did stuff.
Yeah. Fish.
You were the David Schwimmer of a great band. No big deal. Hey, Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, David Schwimmer. Awesome. He was there, too.
He's there.
He was there, too.
He's that guy. You're in the Sportsocracy.
We got one more before we go to...
All right, let's do one more before the break.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Your musical taste is getting drug in the chat. And
Mine?
Yours.
Oh, nice.
A man who literally thinks the Crash Test Dummies were one of the best bands of the 90s is on this show. And it's not you, and your musical taste is getting drugged. That's what this show provides, and that's why I love it. Red C said, if the Raiders want to get rid of Max Crosby, the Arizona Cardinals will happily take him. In exchange, you can have one Sean Murphy Bunting. I mean, if Max Crosby's going anywhere to Detroit, I feel very sure of that.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Because if you want to replace one guy that runs like Waluigi, you go get another guy that runs like Waluigi, and then you have them right beside each other for the foreseeable future, just terrorizing quarterbacks. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
No, I do not. I wasn't even listening.
Of course.
I was trying to catch up on the chat here. I was trying to figure out what they were talking. Why you said my musical taste was getting drugged down a sidewalk.
Well, because it is. Because you think the Beatles are awesome.
Well, they are. I mean, facts don't care about your feelings, brother. You are the number one band that changed music forever. You can't get away from it.
You are so basic that you should have walked in here with a cup of Starbucks and a pair of Ugg boots.
Says the dude who listens to Creed and probably wears his puffy jacket sucking on some kind of pumpkin latte. Good job, bro.
I would not consume anything pumpkin, and you know that. That is gross. That is a weed, and you should not consume it.
Put your Ugg boots away, girly.
Well, it sounds basic, Mr. Beatles.
It's basic knowledge, brother, and you should get with it.
The Beatles suck.
You really should. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Or what we see is what we get, and it's blue sky, and the nice deep blue sky, and the dry weather continuing over the next several days. We might not see rain for the rest of the month. Sunny today, 75, tonight in the upper 40s. Thursday and Friday, low to mid 70s, and again, mostly sunny. And our weekend's going to have sunshine. Cooler weather by Sunday, though. Saturday, 75 and sunny. Sunday, sunny, 65. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Time with family, laughs with friends, and cash back. Discover's got you covered on the last one. That's because Discover doubles all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cash Back Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
The 2024 general election is right around the corner, and News Radio 570 WWNC is covering every angle of it for you. From the local elections right here in Western North Carolina to the state offices in Raleigh, and of course the race for the White House. News Radio 570 WWNC is your official election information station.
Football season is here, and at Haywood Regional Medical Center, we know it's not just the players who need to stay in top shape. Whether you're an athlete pushing for the win or a fan enjoying the action, our orthopedic team is here to keep you in the game. This season, let Haywood Regional Medical Center meet your orthopedic needs. From tears and strains to sprains and breaks, we use today's therapeutic technology to keep you moving. Visit myhaywoodregional.com to learn more. Haywood Regional Medical Center, sports medicine and orthopedics to help you live your healthiest life.
Help DEA keep our community safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, October 26th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
A wicked good time is waiting for you now inside the free iHeart app, and it starts with commercial-free Halloween radio. It's the ultimate Halloween soundtrack for the season with spooky hits,
the Monster Man,
fun throwbacks, and all the essential Halloween anthems. Open the free iHeart app, search Halloween radio and listen now.
iHeart Radio.
Free never sounded so good.
Millions protect their homes from power outages with Generac home standby generators. Would you like to be part of this lucrative industry? Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer, has limited franchise opportunities in your area. Learn more at generatorfranchise.com.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
There's a lot of talk about heroes these days.
Hey, buddy, you want to go fishing?
The folks in the funny outfits with superpowers and spandex.
All right, buddy, let me help you.
But at Ingalls, we know that a lot of our heroes
Now you look like a frog.
are a little closer to home. They're the ones who give us what we need for those everyday adventures. That's why we look up to the ones who look out for us.
Don't forget your fish food. Catch a big one.
Ingalls.
See you later, Dad.
All the ingredients for family.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
We're back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. It's 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy, heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app.
If you heard the first 40 minutes of this show and went, those two boys hot? Look, I'm still on cold medicine. I got an excuse. Oh, Wooer over there? I don't know what his excuse is.
I've got no excuses today. No excuses. Just having some fun. Wow. All right, so it's time to get just a bit outside. And I know, Jeremy, you didn't watch any of that basketball last night, nor did I, to be fair. However, I did find it quite hilarious that the Boston Celtics came out for the opener of the season against the New York Knicks and tied an NBA record for 29 three-pointers in one game. The kicker of that was, though, they didn't tie the record right at the buzzer or whatever.
Nope.
They had 29 made three-pointers with 8:54 to go in the game and then proceeded to brick or airball every shot from deep there on out.
They missed 13 in a row.
They went 0 for 13 in the last 9 minutes of that ball game from deep and could not set the new record. That's the universe just telling you that 30 three-pointers for one NBA game is just too many. Just too many. So I did think that was quite interesting. And then today I saw this out of the NASCAR world. Frankie Muniz, Malcolm in the Middle himself, is going full-time to trucks next year. He's been driving part-time for years. And now he's going full-time next year in the NASCAR Truck Series for 2025. He'll be driving the number 33 Ford for Rame? I don't know how to say that. Rame Brothers Racing, Reaume. I don't know. Quite interesting. I feel like this is late to be getting into a full-time ride in NASCAR, though, because he's 38 years old.
Well, I mean, he's not going to act because he's not a kid anymore, so he's not cute. I mean, he kind of grew up to look like a bird. So
did he? I don't think I've seen a picture of him lately.
He has a very little head.
I've always thought his face was weird.
Like a very shockingly small head.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, you want to race cars? Race cars.
Good for him.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
He's a little small dude, so he fits in a race car. You know?
My story is very short. It's from last night's Inside the NBA. First episode of the year, and TNT decided that they were going to have, some special guests. And Charles Barkley, his response to one of those guests showing up, made him arguably my favorite person outside of my wife in the world.
Oh wow,
Jamel Hill. Shows up on Inside the NBA.
Oh, no.
I will give you one guess at what his first line to her was. They introduce her. Mm-hmm. It gets really quiet for a second, and then Charles Barkley opens his mouth and says, what?
Didn't you get fired?
You're so damn close.
Oh.
He said, you get fired a lot.
I knew it had to be something along those lines.
You get fired a lot.
Like, look, Jamel's here for 5 minutes before she gets fired. Welcome to the party.
Jamel Hill's about one more firing away from calling us, going, hey, you need a third? I've never been to Asheville, but
nope.
Here it's lovely. No.
Nope.
No. I will take Tank's Buccaneer doll back there and sit in a third chair and talk to it like I'm a crazy person. I
love Charles Barkley.
I'll even let Tank put his hand up its keister and make its mouth move. I don't care. I'm good.
That's funny.
I saw that on Twitter last night and laughed until I almost urinated in my pants. I went, that's why I love Charles Barkley, because you're the only person that could say that and not only get by with it, but have all of us talk about it the next day.
Yeah. It's very, very good. I give him major props for that.
Flawless victory. We have another super chat.
All right, super chat.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
I'll give Adam Scarborough credit. This is a funny line.
Oh, yeah.
Sent in a $5 super chat, and he said, so Jeremy can buy Creed's Greatest Hits CD with enough money left over for a beer. There you go, Ham.
There we go.
Beat it. Make ring noise.
That's so good. I love it. I love this bell. Makes such clear sound.
It sounds like fish. Sounds like you should be playing cymbals for fish.
It sounds like a Creed reunion tour.
I saw the Creed reunion tour, and you are not to talk smack about that because it was awesome.
Yes.
Greatest show I've ever been to.
Yes.
Didn't need any substances to make it awesome because the music spoke for itself.
Mm-hmm. There you go. There you go.
I didn't even mean to ring the bell that time. It rang itself. Mm-hmm. That bell said, I need to be rung, and I will ring my own bell.
That bell said, I, too, have been driving through Alabama late at night and seen the $3.99 sign on the CDs next to the cash register, and I, myself, had to pick up a copy of Arms Wide Open.
Hey, I'm not going to lie to you. You find me a copy of My Own Prison, $3.99, it's a value proposition, folks.
No appeal on the docket today. It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Oh,
this is one of those shows that you just go back and, I clip all these shows to do reels and things like that. And this is one of those that I go back and look at the first hour and go, I don't think I could use any of that. Or I can use all of it. I don't know which one. I think you'd have to play it in one of those carousels on Instagram to make it make even a little bit of sense.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Hey, speaking of moves that don't really move a needle in the NFL, we opened the show talking about the Kansas City Chiefs picking up DeAndre Hopkins, a 32-year-old receiver whose name is bigger than his talent. We can all admit that. I think it makes a bit of a difference for Kansas City because I think he's the best receiver they have now. Not named Travis Kelce, of course, although he hasn't been all that great. Jeremy said it didn't move the needle for him at all because they were already the favorite, and this schematically really doesn't make them any better. And he may have a point to that. The Houston Texans have gone out, and they've added Pro Bowler to their team, Devin White at linebacker.
Let's go.
Yeah. Good for you, Devin. Still just trying. Still just trying. He got cut loose by the Eagles after being there for 6 minutes. And, yeah, Houston, I hope you can get something out of him. I hope they can find a use for him because he does do at least one thing pretty well, and that's track the ball when it's, when there's a ball carrier. Now, if you ask him to cover or, play in the zone or anything like that, you're screwed.
Anything that requires, I don't know, a level, a modicum, if you will, of football IQ.
Yes. He's very good at that whole see ball, get ball thing.
To me, Devin White's a great example of Gable Steffenson, the Olympian that was on the Bills' 90-man roster going into preseason.
Yeah.
Just a giant human that's not very good at football. That's, to me, I see him and Devin White exactly the same way. Hey, you're super athletic. Cool. Do you know what a football is? Like, if I handed you a football or in one hand and a squirrel in the other hand, would you be able to go, this is the one that I get paid to try to take away? Or would you hold up the squirrel and just go, I just bet it?
He'd just look at the squirrel and go, that looks like a really small horse. I love horsies. He does. He loves horses. He's got some very beautiful horses, too. Just... I wish you were good at football.
Prepared for that.
I just wish you were still good at football because that 1 year, I thought he was going to redefine the game of football.
You used to talk about him so much, and I would watch the film and just go, he doesn't make a lot of sense to me because I can never really pinpoint, hey, that was a really good instinctive play. It almost felt like there were a lot of times that he just happened to be where the ball went.
Or no, it was generally he made amazing tackles because he was out of position on the play and he had to chase his guy down after he caught the ball or after he hit the edge on the outside. Like he was in the wrong position, so he had to make these crazy athletic plays that you went, holy cow, this guy is better than Dick Butkus. And then you went,
but why did we get here in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because you were looking at that squirrel again.
Right. He duped me. He duped me for an entire year. But anyhow, yeah, also in NFL news, also possibly not moving the needle news, the Browns will start Jameis Winston.
What else were you
this week against the Ravens?
Were you going to start Bailey Zapp? Was that your plan?
I mean, I was going to say DTR still hurt. He played all of 3 plays last week. Got hurt.
I'll never understand. I will never understand why was he the backup quarterback in the first place?
Because he had plays. They had a special package for DTR. Oh. That was the explanation from Kevin Stefanski after the game, was that DTR, they actually have like a goal line package or something that he runs the ball in. And so because there was a package for him to play, he was the de facto 2.
I can't believe I didn't lead with this.
Oh.
Our buddy Rob Johnson. I need the ASPCA music.
Okay.
Because I mean, this is a benchmark day. If you've been with this show for a long time, you know that this is a day that we've all feared.
I will remember you.
Jamin Davis cut by the Washington Commanders.
Oh, shoot.
I don't even know if I want to finish the show.
After being proved this right?
I don't know if I've ever been this right about my own name. Do you remember that draft where I just looked at you and went, come again for Judge Fudge?
Mm-hmm. I remember when they called the name and we were sitting in the old studio in Woodfin, and I remember Jeremy just throwing things, laughing hilariously, and then getting up and walking out to go smoke a cigarette because that was the most gratifying experience you were going to have that day.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not a shot to anything that was happening outside of that room.
Oh, yeah. That was, for sure, I can now say, for one 15-minute period, I was the smartest person between an NFL GM and myself, because that was one of the top 5 dumbest things I've ever seen an NFL team do.
Yep. Jamin Davis officially cut loose by the Washington Commanders.
Well, he had already been moved to defensive end because he couldn't play linebacker for Dan Quinn.
Tells you everything you need to know. How else was Jeremy right? Well, you're going to hear an example or 2 of it maybe coming up here in the midseason quarterback rankings here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
Hey, what's going on? This is Barry from the band Shinedown. We're heating things up with the release of our 3rd hot sauce, Attention, Mango Habanero. The really hot part is that for every bottle of sauce you buy, a portion of the proceeds will be donated to Musicians on Call. Musicians on Call brings live music directly to patients, families, and caregivers in hospitals across the country. Get your hands on our new hot sauce by visiting shinedown.com/tasteofmadness and help us deliver the healing power of music with Musicians on Call. We really appreciate it.
Is joint pain, soreness, and achiness getting in the way of your best life? Football legend Emmitt Smith refuses to back down to pain. That's why he's a huge advocate for QC Kinetics and their natural approach to getting you relief.
Look, we get one trip around, so I wouldn't ever let pain stop me from hanging out with my race team, traveling with my family, or golfing with my friends.
Emmitt's got it right. And QC Kinetics uses regenerative medicine to relieve that never-ending pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back. And the best news, there's nothing foreign being introduced into your body. Just your own body's natural healing properties. No surgery or no downtime.
If pain's holding you back, maybe it's tennis, pickleball, running, hiking, or spending time with special people in your life, what are you waiting for? This is precious time. Get out there and get over to QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Asheville Smiles has been featured in national publications like Good Housekeeping and Woman's Day. And check out this 5-star Google review. My dental experience was wonderful. I cannot say enough about Dr. Merrill and her amazing team at Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry. Dr. Merrill took time to explain everything. She made me feel relaxed and confident that I was in good hands. I apologize for those tears at your office. Those were tears of joy. Thank you all so much, and thank you, Dr. Merrill, for the hope to get my smile back. Check out Asheville Smiles online at ashevillesmiles.com.
WWNC is Western North Carolina's news and information station.
On your radio and on your phone with the free iHeartRadio app.
You'll have the smartest smartphone in town.
News Radio 570 WWNC.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Fort Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Or what we see is what we get, and it's blue sky, the nice deep blue sky, and the dry weather continuing over the next several days. We might not see rain for the rest of the month. Sunny today, 75, tonight in the upper 40s. Thursday and Friday, low to mid 70s, and again, mostly sunny. And our weekends are going to have sunshine. Cooler weather by Sunday, though. Saturday, 75 and sunny. Sunday, sunny, 65. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by LifeLock.
As Cybersecurity Awareness Month wraps up, remember to update your software to fix security issues that identity thieves exploit to steal personal info. And for comprehensive identity theft protection, choose LifeLock. Start your 30-day free trial today at lifelock.com/cybersafety.
You don't have to keep living with that joint pain. Real lasting relief is possible with help from QC Kinetics. People here are getting their lives back, getting their mobility back, thanks to QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in cellular therapies that can revitalize your joints. I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine using your own body's healing properties, highly concentrated and carefully placed in your achy joint. Back pain, shoulder pain, knee pain, these are cutting-edge treatments that require no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. It's a quick, in-office procedure that can get you moving again. These protocols have been developed by medical professionals and under the leadership of Dr. Mitchell Scheinkupp, a former orthopedic surgeon and a pioneer in clinical regenerative medicine. Listen, is arthritic joint pain keeping you from doing the things you love? Pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulder? You owe it to yourself to learn more. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation. 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. WIN. That's WIN. Enter it now.
It's your chance at an inflation vacation. Go to ESPNAVL.com and good luck.
Live from the Ingalls studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons. By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh, my God. The Jets killed him.
We're back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. It's 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Sportsocracy heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app, and we are seen everywhere on the YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. Today, it is NFL quarterback rankings. We spoke about this a little bit yesterday because I thought it was very interesting. When the question got posed on one of the national shows on Monday, Is Jaden Daniels the best quarterback in the NFC? And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, well, that's a hell of a question because the kid's only played 6 games in this league, and I'm not sure the answer is not yes.
Well, you'll have to wait to see if I got to the same answer. But when you asked it to me, I went, that sounds like a reason to do a ranking. And so we're going to. And today was not incredibly late. So we have a graphic to go along with it to help you keep up if you're watching on the TubeU.
So the 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL start at the bottom. Now we're here. Number 32.
William Donovan Levis.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is his real name.
I mean, he's
Googled it.
Not good at the footballs.
I can't say he's not good at the footballs. He has been put in a very unenviable position with a coach that did not draft him, that does not believe in him, that he does not fit his system. And basically, our metric here was to take every NFL team's starting quarterback if all things are equal. So Deshaun Watson's done for the year. All things are equal. The starter's Jameis Winston. Will Levis didn't play last week, but he is the starter moving forward, and they've made that pretty clear.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the one in Tennessee. I don't believe there is a quarterback in the NFL where Tennessee has an advantage at quarterback.
I would agree.
I think he's got a great arm. I think in the right system he can succeed, and he's probably my next Sammy D MVP that goes into a good situation, and you go, hey, NFL quarterback.
Yeah,
there he is. There he is. There he is.
But if you need all of that around you, are you a good quarterback?
Everybody needs that around them.
Mm-hmm.
You will never find me a quarterback that had bad around them that was an elite quarterback.
Dan Marino.
Doesn't exist. Dan Marino had Don Shula.
Yeah, well,
he had the second greatest coach that ever lived.
Yeah, he had a great coach. He didn't have any weapons, though.
Okay, he had he had an elite defense, and he never won squat.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of think that speaks for itself. Dan was an elite talent.
Mm-hmm.
He also had no matter how you look at this, one of the 3 best coaches that ever lived. The 3 best ever are Lombardi, Belichick, and Don Shula.
Mm-hmm.
He had one of those for his entire career. So, yeah, sorry, he didn't. There was no Brian Callahan there, who I like, but it's first time head coach.
I was gonna say it's not Don Shula. Of course.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You can say the same thing about Pat Mahomes. Well, he hadn't had elite. Well, he's had Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, but he's also had Andy freaking Reid. So.
Well, I mean, he also had Tyreek Hill at one point.
I just said Tyreek Hill.
It's just he has had weapons around him.
Yeah, every great quarterback has.
Will Levis is 32. Who's at 31?
Anthony Richardson. What exactly is it you would say that you do well?
He athleticisms.
He bees big real well. He runs real well. He doesn't run a lot. What is his completion percentage right now?
I'll say 48%.
You're too low by 0.5%. It is 48.5. In 5 games, he's thrown 101 passes. He has completed 49 of them. By comparison, in the exact same offense, in 3 games, Joe Flacco has thrown 7 more and completed 22 more. Yeah, you're not good. You're a great athlete that's masquerading as a quarterback. You're not a great quarterback. I don't know that he ever will be.
Well,
because I've seen no development whatsoever.
I was say that's no real surprise. We said all of this about him when he was coming out of Florida.
Yes.
Is that the guy has a howitzer. He can get it down the field about as good as anybody. Can't get it down the field accurately. And he terrifies the hell out of me.
Gambit fan, I think, with the comment, one of the comments of the day so far. AR-15 yeets the ball down the field really well.
He does.
And I'm not going to lie to you, when I watch him, I often think that. When he just throws a 70-yard, it's 40 yards away from a person, but I just, in my head, I imagine him going, yeet! Real loud.
No, you got to add a little high pitch to it. Yeet!
Yeah, he's 6'6", 240. I don't think there's a high pitch in that.
You don't think so?
No, I think it's more like Jay Uso. Just, day one is yeet!
That does not make a good NFL quarterback.
He's real bad, and I don't think it's getting any better.
All right, number 30.
Go. Daniel Jones. I asked the same question about Daniel Jones that I asked about Anthony Richardson. What do you do gooder than anybody else?
He's the best player in the NFL named Daniel.
Oh, Daniel Sorensen. Lawyer.
No. I like Daniel Sorensen, and even he's not better than Daniel Jones.
Well, he has a role. Daniel Jones really doesn't.
Daniel Jones gets overpaid more than anybody in this business. How about that?
You're not wrong. Daniel Jones is bad. Does he get a second chance?
Yes.
I don't know that I agree with you.
Yes, he will end up being the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts or somebody in 2 years. He will get another shot somewhere.
All right.
Mitch Trubisky keeps getting shots.
Mitch Trubisky has not gotten a shot that's as a backup.
Mm-hmm. That's Daniel Jones. I'm not.
You said he was going to be the starter for the Colts. I don't agree with you. I don't think any team is going. Now, he might be the bridge for a rookie, but that's the extent of it.
Right. And that's what I meant. When he can be a starter for somebody else is going to be because he's sitting behind Justin Herbert or somebody, and they're going to get hurt, and he'll get a chance to start just like Mitchell Trubisky does. That's Daniel Jones's future. He goes from $40 million a year quarterback, which he never should have been, to being one of the backups that your team kind of wishes they'd thought about signing, but you're really glad that they didn't.
We have another super chat that I think is the correct answer from our buddy Red Sea.
Okay.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
He said Danny throws dimes to the opposing defense better than anyone in the NFL.
I don't know that that's true. I think Baker might be better.
It takes the fun out of it when you do it to yourself.
I'm sorry. Baker may be better at that.
By the way, if you don't use that line for a promo, you missed a golden opportunity.
I mean, the last two games, especially, Baker go Baker. Daniel Jones is terrible.
I mean, look, he doesn't have weapons. I don't think it matters if he did have weapons.
No.
I mean, he's got Malik Neighbors, who's really, really good. And in a game that he got hit what felt like 70 times, he couldn't find a way to get it to Malik Neighbors against a defense that's not really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I know your lines beat all the Blue Blazes. I don't care.
He's still bad.
There's a lot of teams that have bad offensive lines. Right. Daniel Jones just drops back. To me, he's got a lot of that David Carr in him of he drops back and he's so used to pressure being there that it's almost like he's got PTSD of he's just looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'll almost duck into it and try to bounce off and usually he just folds like an old deck chair.
Right. Daniel Jones at number 30. Number 29.
The smallest name in the history of the NFL, Bo Nix.
You love bringing that up for some reason.
Because every game I've watched with Bo Nix, which is far too many of them, they bring that up.
Well, they have to.
Every single time.
They have to. And you know why? Because there's nothing else good to say about him. You've got very little to work on with Bo Nix. Yeah.
I'm just going to – stats are fun because stats are a lot like political arguments. I can twist stats to say anything that I want them to.
Mm-hmm.
He has 1,246 yards passing.
Yes.
On 224 attempts.
Mm-hmm.
He's averaging 5.6 yards per Holy shit. That's almost impossible to do. And he's managed to do it.
Is that because of him, or is that because he has no weapons? Is that because the best guy
he does not have great weapons?
No, the best guy he's throwing to right now is who? Cortland Sutton?
Cortland Sutton is probably the right call.
But I'm not even sure that he caught a ball last week. I don't think he did.
He didn't. He had a big old goose egg.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want a point of reference for what I just said, Bo Nix has thrown 224 passes. Dak Prescott's thrown 224 passes. Bo Nix has 1,246 yards. Dak Prescott has 1,602. Joe Burrow has thrown 2 more passes and has thrown for 1,759 yards. You are check down Charlie, and I'll give it to you. It's working. Kind of, because you have a good defense. Just wait. That schedule in the second half of the season is ugly.
Mm-hmm. But for now, Bo Nix, winning quarterback.
Bo Nix is the next Baker Mayfield. I have no doubt of it. I will be arguing about him for the next 4 years.
I don't think it's going to take
And then he's going to get bounced out of Denver. He's going to wind up somewhere else, and he'll have a little resurgence in some West Coast-centric offense. And people go, see? I tried to tell you, he's like Sam Darnold. He was the wrong coach. No, he's not. He sucks. Okay? I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. I've literally stood so close to Bo Nix that I could have reached out and booped him on the nose as he was throwing a pass. And at no point did I ever go, that looks like an NFL mechanic. Or an NFL arm, or an NFL throw, or an NFL eye discipline, or in any of it. I never once said NFL quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at him and saw NFL backup, and that's still what I see.
Number 28.
Gardner Minshew. Okay. He is in a horrifically bad situation.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he is better talent-wise than the 4 underneath him.
Yes.
We had a little bit of a dispute here because Gardner has been an absolute train wreck with the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't fit.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing about this that feels like it's cohesive. Luke Getsy feels like he's way over his skis. I feel like Antonio Pierce feels like he's over his skis. And it's just, I don't blame Gardner Minshew, do you? Aiden O'Connell came in and looked just as bad.
Yeah, I mean, you know me. I never believed that the Raiders were a thing. I never believed that either of these quarterbacks were really good. Gardner's been a fine spot starter. I'm not sure he's ever more than that.
And he may not be.
And I think this, I hate to say that this is proof because he is in a bad situation.
For sure.
And I do feel bad for guys that end up in bad situations. There's no doubting what he did in, Indianapolis last year. Taking over and almost leading them to the playoffs. Like that, you got to get credit for that at some point. He gets credit as a really good backup. But again, I'd still feel like he's Derek Anderson. He's just the backup. And he's a really good backup.
That's not a bad comparison.
And every team out there should think, I need a quarterback like that. Somebody that when plan A goes to crap, then I can bring in this guy and we can float. Joe Flacco comes to mind as well. There are just some guys that are better built for that. And maybe that's his calling. Maybe Gardner Minshew's calling is just to be the best backup in the league.
And that's what I think it is. I think he's a good spot starter on a good team.
Mm-hmm.
He can come in with the Eagles and look very competent. But if you hand the reins to him, even think about with Indianapolis. They built that team for Anthony Richardson. He came in behind that and was able to salvage it. But that team had weapons. The Raiders don't.
Yeah. Gardner Minshew coming in at number 28. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville Midseason Quarterback Ranking. Continues after this.
Help DEA keep our community safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, October 26th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
We need your help to protect your right to AM radio in your car. AM is always there in times of need with the key information for our community. The overwhelming majority of legislators support a bill to keep AM radio in cars, but time is running out. Please text the two letters AM to 52886 and ask Congress to bring this bill to the floor for a vote now. Text AM to 52886.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month. Text stop to stop. A message from the station.
The 2024 general election is right around the corner, and News Radio 570 WWNC is covering every angle of it for you. From the local elections right here in Western North Carolina to the state offices in Raleigh, and of course, the race for the White House. News Radio 570 WWNC is your official election information station.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning, the cap is loose on that ketchup.
Ugh. Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
The Sportsocracy.
Told you. He did make me think.
Don't
do it.
Live from the Ingalls studio.
Don't do it unless you want to hear how I feel.
Weekdays, noon to 3.
Best just put that on conversation probation and leave it alone.
On ESPN Asheville.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Fort Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Let's open up the whole can of kick ass and kill them all. Let the paramedics sort them out.
It is ESPN Asheville, the midseason quarterback ranking here in the Sportsocracy. Go to thesportsocracy.com and you can follow along on the YouTube. Just click on that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel once you're there. And Jeremy's laying out the list here of the midseason quarterback ranking for you. 32 is Will Levis. 31 is Anthony Richardson. You got Daniel Jones at 30, then Bo Nix and Gardner Minshew coming in at number 28.
Before we fire into the rest of the rankings, we have 2 Super Chats.
All right.
Comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
Red Sea. Baker bakes up apple turnovers on every Sunday. It's nice wordplay.
Mm-hmm.
Very punny.
Mm-hmm.
And Adam Scarborough.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
Gardner Minshew will make a great Captain Clipboard a la Charlie Whitehurst. Charlie Whitehurst had a head of lettuce. Just throwing that out there.
That is a good random
That
name pull.
kid had a mop of hair that was super impressive. Charlie Whitehurst looked like he could be the best realtor in Portland, Oregon, or if he had chosen the dark side, could have convinced a lot of people to believe a lot of things that didn't make a whole lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
He had that whole cult leader little
yeah.
flippity with the flibbity at the bottom.
With the flibbity.
He had the flibbity with the flibbity.
He's wearing a white shirt with a tie and knocking on doors somewhere.
He had a white button up that was unbuttoned to about his rib cage, wearing a pair of white pleated pants.
He's not Ryan Fitzpatrick. Stop it. He's not that cool.
A pair of sandals that were made by Birkenstock.
At number 29 on the midseason quarterback power ranking,
Andrew Jeremiah Dalton.
Yeah, he's doing stuff.
I mean, he's a living, breathing quarterback.
He is.
I don't believe Andy Dalton beats you. He's the first quarterback, and that's how I got to this ranking. He is the first quarterback that I look at and go, that's not going to be the reason you lose. It's probably not going to be the reason you win either. But I don't feel like starting him, you walk in down 3 points, and I feel like you do with the other 5.
Yes. Andy Dalton is, he is good to a point of he can take you from being absolutely irrelevant to being kind of competitive. I mean, we've already seen that, right? If Bryce Young were still the starting quarterback of this team, we'd already said his name on the worst quarterbacks list. So Andy is a smidge of an improvement over what your other choice is at quarterback.
He's also...
But it's still not going to matter in the win column for the most part.
He's also debatably on the top 10 list of greatest gingers of all time.
No doubt.
Ed Sheeran, Carrot Top, Shaun White, Puss in Boots, Andrew Dalton.
What? Puss in Boots?
I pulled the list. It has Elmo and Puss in Boots. I am a ginger. I'm allowed. Okay? It does. It's not me.
And are we only doing men here?
Well,
there's the redheaded women, I'm sure.
I'm
sure.
sure.
Reba, right? Like Reba was a redhead, wasn't she?
Yeah, Reba should definitely be up there. My first thought was Kathy Griffin, and
good God,
that should not be on the top anything. Kathy Griffin doesn't belong on the top 10 Kathy Griffins of all time.
No, she's so bad being a ginger. Even Ginger Ale should change its name. Like, I don't want any piece of that.
We are not affiliated.
She's an idiot. Ugh.
Canelo Alvarez, also a good.
Oh, I didn't even know he had red hair.
I'm just ashamed that nobody that listens to this show has wanted to throw my name out there yet.
Well, I mean,
I'm just a beard. That's it. My hair's not red.
The hair we can see is red.
Correct.
I can't really see much of your hair with a hat on.
You made that weird. We need to move on.
I wasn't. You made it weird.
Nope,
that wasn't
That
me.
was weird. That made me feel odd, and I need a bath now. And we need to go to number 26.
You're weird. Number 26,
Jameis Winston. Do you think this is too high as a guy that was a fan?
I do not.
I don't either.
I don't think this is too high. Part of me wants to think this might be a little too low.
Jameis will win you games. He will also lose you games. And that's where I got to. Is if and the metric here was we're playing a game to save our lives. Jameis Winston gives me a better chance to win than anybody that's been on this list so far. He also gives me a better chance to lose than anybody that's coming in front of him. Because he could have one of those good old Jameis Winston games where he throws 4 of the most god-awful interceptions you've ever seen.
Yep.
There's a reason no team's giving him a shot as a starter, legitimately.
5,000 passing yards is fun. 30 touchdowns, funner. 30 interceptions, just trying not to eat a bullet at that point as a fan. Like, how did we possibly get to this point where you can lead the league in every other category? Oh, but there's interceptions.
Yeah, by the way, all you Baker Mayfield people that keep saying, he's leading the league in yards, so did Jameis Winston, okay? When you lead the league in interceptions, too, kind of counterintuitive.
It is.
When you throw it a gajillion times, it's not hard to lead the league in yards, which is the emptiest stat ever. Victor Shelton with a great point in the YouTube comments. Did you mention Bill Walton? No list of the greatest gingers of all time is complete without Bill Walton.
That's a good one.
It's also a great reference since we were talking about the Grateful Dead earlier.
Yeah, we didn't mention Brian Scalabrine either.
Brian Scalabrine does not belong on that list.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
No, come on, Clark. We're not just talking about on the court achievements.
Yeah, he's fine.
That guy's he's doing stuff off the court.
I've been
He's
doing
funny as hell.
I've been doing the Jesse Ventura thing too much. My Bill Walton now sounds like
Jesse Ventura.
Live in the Baja, down in the Baja, doing stuff. My own government's afraid to give me government clearance because they're afraid of what I know and that I can hold my breath for like 7 minutes.
BG. He gets points. Ham from Sandlot. That's a good
Never
ginger.
seen it.
He's a good ginger.
I don't even know what that means. I know what Ham is.
The Sandlot. You know what the Sandlot is.
I know what the movie is, but I never saw it.
It's a baseball movie.
I mean, I know what Ham is. I just had it on bread earlier.
I also made a reference earlier today about Fernando Valenzuela breathing out of his eyelids, and he had no clue what I was talking about either. Like, you got to get with at least a little bit of baseball knowledge.
All I know about Fernando Valenzuela is he looked like a baseball pitcher for about a year. And then he ballooned up to his fighting weight and kind of looked like he should be leading a cartel somewhere. He looked like a bad guy in a mafia movie.
He did. He did at times.
And then I saw him recently, a picture of him recently, and I went, that's not Fernando Valenzuela.
That's not what he looked like. Yeah, he didn't look as pudgy in his later years as he did in the late 80s. Right, because when he came in 81, I mean, I hadn't been born yet, but, you know, watching all the old Dodger film and stuff from those years, like, he came in and he was thick. He wasn't, you know, Bartolo Colon fat until, like, year 10 with the Dodgers, and then every other stop, he just got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Bartolo Colon, that's another nice grab.
Yeah.
He looked like he would be the MVP of every recreational church league softball league. And he would crush beers on the tailgate of the pastor's car.
Just
for truck, for sure.
And just cranking dingers left and right.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
no doubt.
He hums that thing 80 miles an hour, and it comes out 200 miles an hour off that bat.
No doubt. And then he goes to work his job.
Let's see.
Probably requires his name to be on his shirt.
I like this game. We should do this of the best fat baseball players of all time, because I feel like we could do a hell of a starting rotation and bullpen. Like, you got to throw Rich Garces in there, the old bobble belly from the Boston Red Sox.
Rod Beck.
Yeah.
With that big sweet stash.
You get Mo Vaughn at first base. It's going to get harder to do the fat ones when you get to the middle parts, because we didn't really have any fat center shortstops.
Well, I mean, Robinson Cano later in the later years. He got that money and went, I don't work out no more.
Mm-hmm. Just for the name, we got to throw Pudge Rodriguez in there, though. He wasn't fat,
I was
but
he was never big.
No, he wasn't fat, but I mean, any guy named Pudge, he belongs to be on the all fat team. Anyhow, that's rabbit hole for this half hour. Number 25 on the midseason quarterback ranking. You want to do it real quick or give it to him after the break?
Real quick, because it doesn't require much.
Okay.
Russell Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
Let's ride.
Yeah.
Rust up. Whatever it is for the Steelers.
Rust up. I like that.
I thought of that while I was watching the Steelers drag the Jets down the sidewalk. Like, awesome. We got a Rusty Shackelford here just beating the bejesus out of us.
Oh, Rusty Wilson. Ain't he doing
There's nothing
great?
there.
No.
There is nothing there.
No.
And there is always a quarterback like this every single year that plays for a good team, and all they tell you to do is don't screw this up.
Mm-hmm.
Hit a couple deep shots and don't screw it up. That's it.
Yep.
You have no other role here.
CC Sabathia.
I was going to say that.
That's a good one from Sir Jimothy.
But see, he was only fat in the middle because he had the Cleveland years and he was in pretty good shape. He was a little doughy.
Yeah.
He had the end in New York when he kept having to go through rehab, so he was because he got hurt like 58 times.
Right.
But then there was that right in the meaty clackers when he was getting $1 bajillion to pitch and giving you about 4% effort. He was giving that other 96% effort at the buffet after the game.
Adam Scarborough says Bartolo Colon was the Dominican Kenny Powers.
I'll never unsee that.
I mean, I'll give you for arm talent, maybe for a little bit of the attitude as well.
Does that mean he would come to my funeral playing shadow box? Because if he would, I'm so in for that.
He most definitely would.
No doubt.
Definitely would. He would be crushing beers at your
I was
wake.
about to say, just don't tell him there's beers in the casket. He'll flip me right out of that box.
Kenny Powers never had the bat, though. Bartolo Colon. Chicks dig the long ball. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
More of what we see is what we get, and it's blue sky, the nice deep blue sky, and the dry weather continuing over the next several days. We might not see rain for the rest of the month. Sunny today, 75, tonight in the upper 40s. Thursday and Friday, low to mid 70s, and again, mostly sunny. And our weekends are going to have sunshine. Cooler weather by Sunday, though. Saturday, 75 and sunny. Sunday, sunny, 65. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The slow-roasted Cantina chicken menu is here to stay with ingredients like purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. Try it today at a participating U.S. Taco Bell location while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies.
Sometimes where a crime took place leads you to answer why the crime happened in the first place. Hi, I'm Sloan Glass, host of the new true crime podcast, American Homicide. In this series, we'll examine some of the country's most infamous and mysterious murders and learn how the location of the crime becomes a character in the story. Listen to American Homicide on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search American Homicide and start listening.
When it comes to electrical needs in Asheville, trust the experts at Grigg Electric. Veteran-owned and operated, Grigg Electric is Asheville's #1 choice for electrical services. They offer a variety of electrical services for residential, commercial, or industrial installations in Buncombe, Henderson, Madison, McDowell, and Yancey counties. Call Grigg Electric today, 828-232-0021. That's 828-232-0021. Serving Western North Carolina since 1976. Online at griggelectric.com.
With WWNC, you can have traffic reports in your bedroom.
Get the latest traffic updates anywhere you've got a smart speaker.
And find out about your drive before you even get in the car.
News Radio 570 WWNC.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chips and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town, packaged fresh every day. And smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real. In the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
What are you people?
On dope?
We are back in the Sportsocracy, and this is the Ingles studio. What?
Rob Johnson.
What he said?
Wait, don't bury him yet. I'd like to add to the speeches.
The old Kenny Powers.
By the way,
move.
I will happily do that for anybody I know. You tell me that's what you want, and I will be that guy for you.
Mm-hmm.
Boombox over my head.
That's true. I mean, because somebody like me tries to pull a stunt like that at your wedding, I'm getting my ass kicked by Uncle Jerry. I'm pretty sure Uncle Jerry's going to look at Jeremy and go, yeah, I don't know if I want to take my chances.
That dude right there looks like he's seen some stuff.
Who's going to tell him no?
Let's just hear him out, okay? He might have a point.
Good points also made in the YouTube chat for All Fat Baseball Team. Prince Fielder, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
And then Gigi, we said it. I said it in the studio about the same time it came up in the chat. Kung Fu Panda, Pablo Sandoval, fattest third baseman of all time.
That's the only way you'll ever get me to talk about baseball is if I'm making fun of it.
Yeah. Felix Hernandez also give Gigi some points for that one as well. All right. Quarterbacks in the NFL. This is the midseason quarterback power ranking. Russell Wilson was number 25. How about number 24, Jeremy?
Derek Dallas Carr. Oof. And yes, that is his real middle name.
Is it really?
I will let you know if I say it's his real name, it is. If I don't, I made it up.
Mm-hmm. Derek Dallas Carr.
There's no name that fits him better. I don't think he is a bad quarterback. I think he is in a bad situation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a bad situation that's getting worse.
I feel like he had a chance at least 8 times in his career to prove to us that he is a good quarterback. And I don't think he's ever proved it. Maybe that one year that he had Amari Cooper, that feels like 12 years ago. I just don't think I think he's terribly mediocre, and now he's in a bad situation with a team that's listless, and
he is insufferably mediocre. When I hear Derek Carr's name, all I can think of is that line from Varsity Blues. Tweeter drank because Tweeter's a drinker.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Bob cried because Billy Bob cries. Derek Carr sucked because that's what he does. And the more you believe in him, the more likely he is to do so at a very inopportunistic time.
Yes, which for Saints fans is every friggin' week.
I mean, be really honest with yourself. After Derek Carr went down, you've had 2 weeks of Spencer Rattler. Do you really feel like he was the problem? Because I don't.
Who, Derek?
Mm-hmm. I don't think he's the problem. I also don't think he's the solution.
I guess that's a good way to think.
But do I think you could put him in Tampa Bay and he would succeed? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I kind of do.
Mm-hmm. All right, so number 23.
Drake May. There's a little projection here. Not much. I've really liked what I've seen from Drake May.
Yeah. My only concern about having Drake at this point is the premise. If you had to risk your life on a guy to win a game,
I'd take Drake May over every guy.
I don't know that I would. I just don't know that he's that talent-wise. Future projections, of course, he's ahead of all of these dudes. When it comes to winning a game right now, I'm just not sure he's got it. To be fair, I haven't seen him play yet in the NFL.
Can I make the argument of he's doing this with Antonio Gibson, Jamichael Hasty, Kayshawn Booty, KJ Osborne, and he still looked good in 2 starts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, just play the Patriots this weekend. I would much rather this be Jacoby Brissett. I think Drake May is a really talented kid. And, yeah, there's going to be bumps, but there's nobody beneath him that I would trust more than him.
Okay. At number 22.
Trevor Lawrence.
This feels.
If I had said
feels
this,
low.
Does it?
It does.
Because to me, it almost feels high.
Really?
I mean,
Okay.
if you said this 2 years ago, yeah, it's blasphemy. But it's not, though. Don't use a preconceived notion of what this guy is. He's shown you what he is. Can Doug Peterson be part of this? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
He's part of the problem. There's no doubt about that. Trevor Lawrence has been awful. Awful. He's been inconsistent. He's regressing. That prospect that came into the league, he doesn't exist anymore. That's been beaten out of him. So now you've got bad habits so let's say Ben Johnson takes his job over. This is going to be just like Jared Goff all over again. Because now you've developed bad habits because we've been in a we must win now mode. We weren't trying to develop you. We thought you were a ready-made product and you were the thing we knew what we had. And so now you've developed some really bad foot mechanics. You hold on to the ball like you think you have all day, and you don't. The clock in your head is broken. And I'm looking at the list of guys ahead of him, and I can't even make an argument for him to be ahead of any of them.
The last game was the best game, but you were playing against the New England Patriots.
You're playing against
in
a
an
young New England
international
team.
scene.
Exactly.
There's nothing I can gain from that. Stats-wise, if you're just looking at the numbers, you could convince yourself that Trevor Lawrence is not as bad as we make him out to be. But there's lots more that go into being a quarterback than just stats. Just because your QBR doesn't look like one of the worst in the league doesn't mean necessarily that you've turned a corner. You got to look at the performances that he's put up. You got to look at the averages there. Just don't get swayed by the numbers is the only thing I'm saying.
Yeah, QBR, he's 7th in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Carr's 6th.
That should tell you everything you need to know.
100%. Geno Smith's 10. Jordan Love's 14. Andy Dalton 17, and they're all ahead of Sam Darnold.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good metric. It ain't flawless.
Yep. Number 21.
Oh, and by the way, they're all ahead of Dak Prescott, which is I have never thought I would be the Dak apologist, but that is smoking crimes. 21, Caleb Williams. I think this is about where he fits in.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do think there's talent in him, but I haven't seen it against a good team yet. And until I do, it's hard for me to believe in you that much. I think he is raw enough and doesn't necessarily have the bad habits. That's why I had him ahead of Trevor Lawrence. That was one of the hardest decisions that I had. Was Trevor 21 or 22, and Caleb Williams was the other one. Because I think right now they're pretty close to each other. There's enough talent there that you can have a really good game, but there's enough. Caleb is the unknown. Trevor is the good Lord, what in the world are you doing? That I've seen a handful of times over the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm. My biggest question about Caleb is, what's this week going to look like? I'm wondering if this is going to be the what was it, the Lexus 300, or what was the reference you made yesterday? The Cat Williams joke that you made yesterday, Jeremy. What was that?
Oh,
was what
about
kind of
a Chrysler 300.
The Chrysler 300.
Yeah, it looked like a Phantom till a Phantom drive by.
Right. Is that what this week's going to look like? When Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears lock horns with the Washington Commanders and Jaden Daniels?
Caleb has a defense. Jaden's struggles. But I'll still take Washington.
I was going to say, between the quarterback play,
it's a huge advantage.
It could be quite drastic when you see one on the field as opposed to the other, because it has been.
Because I'll go ahead and tell you, you're not going to hear Jaden Daniels' name for quite some time.
A long time. Number 20.
Geno Smith. He was actually one of the impetuses
Yeah.
of this list because I was really curious. All right, if I sit down in brass tacks, how many quarterbacks with equal scenarios, because that's what we're doing here. This is every one of these guys gets the exact same team to play with. Who am I feeling hunky-dunky that they can save my life? And there were two names that as soon as this started, I went, they have to be right beside each other because I think they're the exact same guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because number 19 is Baker Nathaniel Mayfield Jr. the 8th.
Not his real name.
No. Baker Mayfield and Geno Smith are the exact same guy. There's one difference. Baker has been given all the leash in the world, and he uses it, which leads to him throwing a ton of interceptions, a ton of bad interceptions. He doesn't take the sacks because he is kind of a mobile guy. Geno takes the sacks. This guy's been benched enough times that he's a little gun shy. He still throws them, don't get me wrong. For me, in that just absolute those penultimate times of I've got to have you make a play. Baker Mayfield's going to throw a pick. Geno Smith's going to take a sack. 95 times out of 100.
Yep.
And now I will dare anybody to tell me, after we move into the next side of this list, please tell me which quarterback you would take either one of those guys over. Because I've looked at this list, Tank and I broke down this list, and you know what we came to? There ain't one. Not unless you are a delusional fan of the Seattle Seahawks or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you've got those two guys higher, it's your bias, not mine. Period.
Right in the middle of the league.
Yeah.
That's where they belong.
They are average quarterbacks. You're about to see out of Baker Mayfield when he doesn't have two high-end weapons, you're going to see a Baker Mayfield that's very reminiscent of Cleveland. Geno Smith, when everything was great, had a phenomenal year. Baker Mayfield has had a really good half a year. He's yet to put together a really good season, and until he does, you're borderline irrelevant to me. You're just a dude. Because the difference between Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield, and Geno Smith, it ain't that much. Because if you look at the list, the only guys in between them are young guys that either I don't have enough information on or they've been such a letdown that I can't believe in them.
Yep. All right, let's go to number 18.
Jalen Hurts. Go ahead and say it. I know you want to because this was a guy we talked about for a long time.
Oh, it feels low. This feels low for a guy that we had in the top 5.
We never had him in the top 5. We had him in the top 10. He never got into the top 5.
Really?
No.
After
the
MVP year, we didn't have him that high?
He wasn't the MVP.
The one where the one
where he could have been, yeah. No, we never got him that high. And we even kind of the highest he ever got on one of our power rankings was 7. Okay. And even then we went, we don't feel great about the fact we're putting him here.
Yep.
But the play on the field dictated it. Well, now for 2 years, the play on the field is dictated. This is where he goes.
Yes.
He is the definition of average quarterback in the NFL. He has great weapons around him. He does. He has great weapons around him. But what would happen if he got put with the New York Giants? Because my thought is it would look a whole lot like Daniel Jones.
It would look very similar.
And that's
they
my
may
problem.
be a little bit better, but I think it'd probably be negligible. Although, who knows? Maybe at that point we see some running come back into play for him. The game plan has changed so much that you can't run it the same way you did in the, MVP year, the MVP candidate year, whatever. Like, it was great for a year. I need to see you do it for more than a year, and he has not. He's been an utter disappointment the last 2 years, and is that all because of Nick Sirianni?
I will give you the benefit of the doubt. When there was something on tape coming into this league that makes me think you were the guy that you were in that golden year. The problem is for Jalen Hurts, there isn't. Gambit fan said, hey, wait a minute, my guy's better than Tua Tagovailoa. It's ironic you said that because number 17 is Tua Tagovailoa. The difference for me, I had a higher grade on Tua coming in because I think he does more things than an NFL quarterback does. Jalen Hurts plays the quarterback position like we're playing in a YMCA rec league. I'm the most athletic guy on this field. I've got a big arm that's inaccurate. I don't read defenses well. I'm big and I'm fast and I can run over you. The problem is that doesn't work in the NFL. And in large part, it hasn't. He just played a 60-minute NFL football game where they controlled the ball. He completed 10 passes. He had just over 100 yards, and over half of those were on one throw to A.J. Brown. That's not good. And by the way, that's against a bad secondary with two elite weapons. Tua, on the other hand, has a drawback, but it's not his on-the-field play. To me, Tua Tagovailoa and Dak Prescott are the exact same guy. I watch them on film. They look the same. Their delivery is to a point the same. What they're asked to do is a little different. Tua's asked to be the point guard of a really good team that has some elite shooters because he's got Waddle and Hill and all those guys out of the backfield. Dak Prescott is asked to be the Steve Nash, the point guard that has to distribute, and you've really got to do it yourself because the guys around you aren't awesome. But the drawback on Tua and why he's so much lower than Dak Prescott is the injuries.
I can't trust you.
I can't trust you as far as I can throw you. Because the premise here is game to save our lives. If Tua plays 60 minutes, I feel pretty good, depending on who's on the other side. But do I feel pretty good that he's going to play 60 minutes? And the answer is no.
No, you can't. And he, in that regard, he would be off my board. I'd take every one of these guys over him. Right now, 4 weeks removed from his third diagnosed concussion in the last 2 years, I'd take every guy over him. I would take Will Levis if I had to risk my life against it.
There's a really good point in our YouTube chat before we go into the break here. GG Gambling said, with what I said about Jalen Hurts, so that sounds like what you said bashing Lamar Jackson for years. And you know what happened? Lamar Jackson figured it out. Lamar Jackson figured out that I can't just beat you because I am the fastest guy on the field. I have to be able to defer. I've got to be able to hand it off to a Derrick Henry. 4 years ago, Derrick Henry doesn't sign with the Baltimore Ravens. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
Because he would have looked at this and gone, Lamar Jackson's never going to give me the tote I need. He does now. Now we're running option routes with Zay Flowers coming along, running zone read, doing different things. Lamar Jackson wouldn't have done that 4 years ago. He matured. I still have grand reservations about him, but he's matured. I don't know that Jalen Hurts can mature because I don't think it's for him, I don't think it's an immaturity problem. I think it's a physical limitation problem. Jalen's got a cannon. He's super inaccurate. He's a big, burly guy that can run over you, much like Cam Newton could back in the day. Problem is, much like Cam Newton, he's not a very good thrower.
This is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville Midseason Quarterback Rankings. Roll on after the top of the hour.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics,
828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Does your home need a new look? Step into a world of flooring possibilities at the Carpet Barn. Plush carpet, sleek hardwood, stylish tile. The Carpet Barn has it all. Whether you want comfort, durability, or that wow factor, you'll find it in their 300,000 square feet of flooring options. Find the perfect floor for your lifestyle and budget. Head to CarpetBarnCarolina.com for your free in-home estimate now. Veteran owned and operated. The Carpet Barn, the one-stop shop for flooring.
If you've ever thought about Botox treatment before, then your dentist might not be the first person that pops into your head. But at Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry, they are dedicated to the treatment of TMJ, and they use Botox for that. Botox can also be used to treat headaches that come from people grinding their teeth or clenching their jaws when they are stressed. So if you have more questions about Botox and you want to see if it's a good option for you, check out Asheville Smiles online at AshevilleSmiles.com. World-class dental care with a hometown feel.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Or what we see is what we get, and it's blue sky, the nice deep blue sky, and the dry weather continuing over the next several days. We might not see rain for the rest of the month. Sunny today, 75, tonight in the upper 40s. Thursday and Friday, low to mid 70s, and again, mostly sunny. And our weekend's going to have sunshine. Cooler weather by Sunday, though. Saturday, 75 and sunny. Sunday, sunny, 65. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by GeneratorFranchise.com. Millions protect their homes from power outages with Generac home standby generators. Would you like to be part of this lucrative industry? Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer, has limited franchise opportunities in your area. Learn more at GeneratorFranchise.com.
Haywood Regional Medical Center is thrilled to welcome primary care physician Dr. Tony Lee to our staff this fall. Dr. Lee will practice family medicine at our new Haywood Family Practice Asheville location on Acton Circle, just off the Enka-Candler exit on I-40. Dr. Lee is a local doctor returning home, bringing his expertise in primary care, a passion for prevention, and a commitment to lasting relationships with patients. Call 800-424-DOCS for an appointment. That's 800-424-DOCS, or visit haywoodmedicalgroup.com.
Need assistance from the recent disaster and want in-person help? You can find your nearest FEMA Disaster Recovery Center by visiting FEMA.gov/DRC. or use disasterassistance.gov to apply with FEMA today.
Cullowhee is the place to be on Saturday, November 2nd, as WCU football takes on Chattanooga for homecoming. Come cheer on the Catamounts in what is the 50th anniversary of E.J. Whitmire Stadium as WCU takes the Mocs in a SoCon showdown. Advanced ticket sales start at just $16 for adults and $11 for kids. Kickoff is at 2:30 p.m. on the beautiful campus of Western Carolina University. For tickets, visit CatamountSports.com or call 800-34-GO-WCU. Go Cats!
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Money. That's money. Enter it now.
It's your chance at an inflation vacation. Go to ESPNAVL.com and good luck.
Live from the Ingalls studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog see! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
It is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere you go around the world on the iHeart Radio app. You can take us with you everywhere. Watch us everywhere on YouTube as well. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat so you can tell us how wonderful All of the graphics are from Flostradamus. We're so glad you were able to get a quarterback ranking done for us today. That's awesome.
It's, I need an intern or a temp or something.
We all?
Somebody that just does like those take so long to go through and change every stupid thing and then line it up. And
it looks so good when you get them done. And we're so appreciative of all your hard work, Jeremy.
We have a super chat before we get back into the power rankings.
Okay.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
It's from our buddy Sir Jimothy talking about our friends at Casablanca. Their location in Hendersonville is still open.
Okay.
You should go see them at the Hendersonville location.
Very good.
Main Street out in Hendersonville.
Yeah, they, like everybody who had a shop in Biltmore Village, they took it on the chin.
They're such wonderful, wonderful people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very, anything I can do to help there, I will.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one of the ways that you can help is by going to the location in Hendersonville and just little by little, day by day.
Yeah, water up to the ceilings. I was watching I think it was it on the CBS, the CBS episode that me and Mark were on?
Maybe,
I think they might have been on that episode, and watching them just pull all the couches, like when they pulled the couches out, the leather chairs out that were in the middle, I went, oh, that was 4 days before the storm. Jeremy was sitting in that chair doing an interview.
Sure was.
With our good friends down at Casablanca. Yes, definitely. Go down to the Hendersonville shop and support those guys as they try to put their lives back together after Hurricane Helene.
Bobby Barnett said it's a really nice location. It is a very nice location down there.
You don't have to go down there.
I've
never checked it out. I'd been to the Biltmore shop, but had not ever been down to Hendersonville. We'll have to make a trek down there.
I'm in.
Show our support for local business.
We'll do it. We'll do it the next time we go to Parks Ford because it's right down the street.
Yeah, there you go. We are in the midst of the mid-season quarterback ranking here on a quarterback ranking Wednesday in the Sportsocracy. That doesn't really ring, but
quarterback ranking Wednesday.
We're in the top half of the league. We left off at number 17 with Tua Tagovailoa. And who's at 16?
Justin Herbert.
It's so disappointing. I don't have a problem with the ranking. I have a problem with the fact that a kid that talented is at this spot.
Well,
he deserves where he's at. I feel like he has so much talent inside of him that he should be one of these in the top 10. And it is an ultimate disappointment that he's not.
I am afraid that Justin Herbert is destined to be empty calories his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
It is eerie to me how similar his path has been to Dan Fouts, where you're going to throw for a gajillion yards. And I don't know that you're ever going to win anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because at least here's my problem with Justin Herbert. Is he the best quarterback in his own division?
No.
Is he the best quarterback in his own stadium?
No.
He's the best quarterback on his own team.
Yeah.
That's about as far as I can get.
That's clear.
And then I look at how many of these quarterbacks that we have coming up that are in the AFC, how many of them are young. You got Tua right behind him. I don't know that it's ever going to click. And there is a merit to, the NFL is undefeated in figuring guys out. If you've got a deficiency or a weakness, the league's going to figure it out. I don't see it as ironic that Justin Herbert's production has waned as time has gone on.
Mm-hmm. Well, this year is you've got a clear
scheme.
answer of why this year.
Well, this year's a different scheme.
Right. This year they bring in Greg Roman and Jim Harbaugh, and they want to run the damn ball. And he's got no weapons to throw to. I can't really say that he's lost anything or he's downgraded just based on this year because I don't think any of this is his fault.
Oh, I can. I can say that the thing about when guys get put into situations where you don't – every quarterback at some point is going to have a lack of weapons.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a guy that's not going to have games where that happens. That's really where I learn more about who you are, because now I'm watching your decision-making. It's not, hey, I've got Jamar Chase or I've got Keenan Allen or Mike Williams or any of the guys that he's had over the course of his career that can just go win and I just have to get them the ball. No, now I got to make guys better. I got to throw guys open. And Josh Palmer is a really good example to me of a guy that I think is super, super talented. And Justin Herbert doesn't really make him better. And if you look at him over the course of time, you'll notice something about Justin Herbert as time has gone on. He had that prodigious 5,000-yard year his sophomore season, 2021. Never threw more interceptions. Threw a lot of interceptions on both sides of that, rookie year, third year. Well, then he throws exponentially less passes, but the interception rate stays the same. Now he's being asked to do less. And it is allowing them to beat bad teams. I don't think you can beat a good team this way. But Jim Harbaugh, who I value to be a pretty smart coach, looks at Justin Herbert and goes, that's not a perk. Because he can't make Josh Palmer and Quentin Johnston and Ladd McConkey and Will Dissly. He can't make them threats. Pat Mahomes can make guys like that threats. Justin Herbert's not that. He's just not.
Yeah.
You want him to be until you're blue in the face because he's a big kid and he can run. And he's got a big arm.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not. He's really just a much bigger version of Dan Fouts.
Yep. Number 15.
Matthew Stafford. I still think he's a good quarterback. Can I shut this? I have to get this in because somebody commented it on our YouTube page. And I've seen it all over the interwebs.
Mm-hmm.
The Minnesota Vikings are not interested in Matthew Stafford. I don't know why I have to say this because I would think common sense itself would have won out. Do you know how long it took me to put the kibosh on that rumor? You have to turn your mic on for people to be able to hear
How
you.
long?
There it is. I heard you, but they couldn't. One job. I woke up this morning. I had to be here. I had to do help Eddie Fox with something this morning. So I had to be here early. I woke up earlier than I usually do. I had debunked that rumor before I got out of my bed. It was 7:15 Eastern Standard Time. I had it debunked by 7:30. Nobody in either time zone should be awake.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't. I didn't need them to be. That trade was discussed a year ago, not now.
Mm-hmm.
It's really easy to just post something on social media and go, look, this is the truth. The problem is that it's not. Minnesota's not interested in Matthew Stafford. The Rams aren't really interested in trading Matthew Stafford. You run into a whole lot of logistical issues with that if you need me to go down that rabbit hole. There's no landing spot.
Mm-hmm.
There's no team that is a Matthew Stafford away from a Super Bowl, and that's what you would have to have here. But
Miami Dolphins.
I don't think Matthew Stafford wins you a Super Bowl. Not there.
Makes them better, though. It would definitely make them better.
Whoop-de-doo. You just paid $250 million to another quarterback. Why would I give up draft capital to go get another one? Doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you see a rumor, ask yourself one question. Does that make even a hair in a frog's keister's amount of sense? Because if the answer is no, it's probably not true. And this one wasn't.
Yeah.
Stafford's a good quarterback. He's on a team that's kind of flailing, but he's still super talented.
Yes.
This, for me, is the old guy tier. Because I'll give you one guess who the next two guys on this list are.
Kirk Cousins.
Oh, where's my bell?
Okay, ham hands.
I missed it.
Hey, one job. Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, here's the thing. I didn't go. I missed it. It was under a notebook, and I couldn't see it.
Kirk Cousins and?
Bet you can guess.
Aaron Rodgers.
Those three, to me, are very similar. Careers are wildly different.
Mm-hmm.
What you're getting right now, very immobile, still incredibly smart, And all three of them kind of have a problem of they haven't really wrapped around their brain around the idea, I can't do what I could do when I was an elite quarterback. All three of these guys, to me, were top 10 at some time in their careers.
Yes.
Two of them were top 5 for a good amount of their careers in terms of talent. That's Rodgers and Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought Stafford was really talented. He was just in Detroit.
Yes.
Cousins has always been kind of on the periphery. They're all three older. They're all three limited in terms of what they can physically do. But the brain itself and the experience itself is enough to win you a lot of games if you can get over the physical limitation.
Mm-hmm.
Kirk Cousins, there are 2 games that I can specifically say Michael Penix probably doesn't lose. The opener against Pittsburgh and last week against Seattle. Kirk Cousins beat the Atlanta Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle did a good enough job of beating them themselves. Kirk Cousins just gave you a whale of a leg up.
And you don't think Michael Penix would have done that?
He might have.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't have done it the same way.
Okay.
He wouldn't have done it where he bootlegs out to the left. Defensive lineman's right there, and he throws it into his hand. Literally, lineman just went, boop, knocked it right out of Kirk Cousins' hand because he has not wrapped his brain around the idea that I can't do that anymore. After the Achilles injury, I'm not that guy. I'm not fleet of foot enough. Aaron Rodgers has the same problem. I watch it on a weekly basis.
Mm-hmm.
There are times that I see a ball come out of his hand, and it's almost like he looks at his hand and goes, you have forsaken me. For 25 years, every time I have made that motion, that has happened, and now it doesn't.
Yeah. But now that it's so important and it's so stark of how important the mental aspect of this game is. How important the experience, the knowing what to do, the decision making, having gone through all the trials and tribulations that you've been through. How important that is that all of these guys are at the tail end of their careers. They're riding off into the sunset in one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Some with a little bit more fanfare than others, and in Aaron's case. But you're still top half of the league quarterbacks.
No doubt.
Right? You're still, even at this state, your state of NFL decrepitude.
Decrepitude. Now that, there is a word.
There would be many, many teams that we've already listed their quarterbacks here who would go, yeah, I'll do that trade.
Matthew Stafford, Kirk Cousins, and Aaron Rodgers, all three are kind of a microcosm of the world to me. Every single year you get a whole class of people that graduate college, and they've been educated on how to do a trade, whatever your major was, whatever it was you went to school to do. And you all come out into the workforce, and you think you know absolutely everything. And you get to a new employer that has a 55-year-old guy that's been here for 30 years. Guess what? That guy's forgotten more about this business than you know.
Yep.
And physically, you ain't that much better than them. You might be a little more fleet of foot. You might be a little more spry. You might react just a little bit quicker. They are way damn smarter than you.
Yep. And they know how to get the job done in different ways, in easier ways.
Yep. And there's a reason that I looked at all three of those teams, and I think they all have problems.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any of them are dead. Even the Rams, who are killed. If that team comes back to full health, Puka Nacua can come off IR in a week or two. Cooper Kupp comes back this week. You've got legit weapons. The line starts getting healthy. That ain't a team I want to play.
Mm-mm.
And I'm looking at the NFC going, 9-8 might make the playoffs. And if it does, you could have a Rams team that sneaks in there, gets hot. I don't want to play that.
Yeah, and that's where
I want to play a healthy Rams team.
And that's where a lot of the dumbassery comes in of, okay, well, the LA Rams are talking about trading Cooper Kupp, which is a real thing. Right?
It is a real thing.
They've been shopping.
I don't think anybody's going to give them what they would want.
No, they're probably not. But if you're shopping Cooper Kupp, then the theory there becomes, well, then you're resetting the decks. And if you're resetting the decks, maybe you can get something out of Matt Stafford. And that's how people go down that rabbit hole of, oh, well, let's try to make something work. Let's try to, make the square peg fit into the round hole and just squeeze him in somewhere because he's a valuable quarterback. If you're starting over, right, your team is terrible, then Matt Stafford would be a hell of a piece to bring you back from the dead.
And then you get into the problem of, well, that means you're going to have to learn a all new playbook. You're going to have to do it in the middle of the season. And none of that really makes a whole lot of sense.
No.
Now, if there was a play caller out there somewhere that had a direct link to Matthew Stafford, maybe that would make a modicum of sense, but you've still got to pick up all of these new pieces. You've still got to learn all your receivers. You got to learn all your linemen. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It's a lot to do on the fly.
And I do have to say, to big media outlets that reported the Vikings are looking into Matthew Stafford, hey, maybe pick up a phone and ask somebody that would know, because it really was not hard for me.
Even at 7:15 Eastern
At
time.
7:15 in the morning, I got this answer within 15 minutes.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville Midseason Quarterback Rankings. Rolls on with top 12 after this.
High prices are like a money vacuum sucking your wallet dry.
No!
But don't fret, you could win our inflation vacation. $1,000 to ease your money woes.
Woo-hoo!
Listen for chances to win every weekday.
Explore a career as a correctional officer. NC Department of Adult Correction is hiring with a $10,000 sign-on bonus. Becoming a correctional officer can be a rewarding first step along a criminal justice career. Visit dac.nc.gov/cojobs.
Do you need help recovering from the recent disaster? FEMA may be able to help, but you have to apply. In addition to the money for food, water, and medicine, you may be able to receive support for housing, home repairs, business supplies, school supplies, and more. If you're in a county approved for FEMA individual assistance, go to disasterassistance.gov or call 1-800-621-3362. Apply for disaster assistance today.
What's the best place to reach new customers for your business? Wherever they are. And that's exactly where you can be with iHeartMedia. We talk to our listeners everywhere, from the car to the gym to the kitchen. Your next customer is listening. And not only can we get your message to your audience, we can also show you how it's working in real time. That goes for broad brand messaging and targeted hyperlocal influencer campaigns alike. Start growing your business today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com. You don't have to keep living with that joint pain. Real lasting relief is possible with help from QC Kinetics. People here are getting their lives back, getting their mobility back, thanks to QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in cellular therapies that can revitalize your joints. I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine using your own body's healing properties, highly concentrated and carefully placed in your achy joint. Back pain, shoulder pain, knee pain. These are cutting-edge treatments that require no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. It's a quick, in-office procedure that can get you moving again. These protocols have been developed by medical professionals and under the leadership of Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, a former orthopedic surgeon and a pioneer in clinical regenerative medicine. Listen, is arthritic joint pain keeping you from doing the things you love? Pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulder? You owe it to yourself to learn more. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation. 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville.
WWNC.com.
With live, local breaking news.
And the latest weather and traffic updates.
It's the website preferred by 9 out of 10 people who want to know what's going on.
News Radio 570 WWNC.
There's a lot of talk about heroes these days.
Hey, buddy, you want to go fishing?
The folks in the funny outfits with superpowers and spandex.
All right, buddy, let me help you.
But at Ingalls, we know that a lot of our heroes
Now you look like a pro.
are a little closer to home. They're the ones who give us what we need for those everyday adventures. That's why we look up to the ones who look out for us.
Don't forget your fish food. Catch a big one.
Ingalls.
See you later, Dad.
All the ingredients for family.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumber than a bag of hammers.
And we are live in the Ingalls studio on ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy. It is a, go ahead.
Quarterback Quarterback Power Ranking Wednesday.
It's the mid-season quarterback ranking.
It's hard to yell things that are that many words.
Yeah, it does get more challenging.
It works when it's 3 words. Anything more than that or a comma, no, bad.
Rising to the challenge, though, is Jeremy Green each and every time. Into the top 12 quarterbacks in the NFL.
Cold medicine helps.
Again, this is if you had to have the quarterback to win you a game or you die, who are you trusting? That's how we came up with this little scenario here, this little formula ranking the quarterbacks from Will Levis to Patrick Mahomes. Oh, excuse me. Did I ruin the top of the list? Oh, shoot. Y'all should have seen that coming. At number 12.
Yeah, if you didn't know who number 1 was, I don't know what to say.
At number 12.
Brock Purdy.
Mm-hmm. You are the Brock Purdy destroyer. All things Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
You want that bubble burst. You come see Jeremy Green.
Yes.
So, Jeremy, you do have him at 12. Is that just because everybody else in the league sucks?
No. Look, the problem with Brock Purdy is not that he doesn't have merit. He does. He makes timely throws quite often. The problem is what happens when he gets off time. Now, name me the quarterback underneath him that doesn't have that same problem. Oh, wait. There's not one.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's in a vacuum. Brock Purdy, to me, is the number one reason that I wanted to do this exercise, was to show that, yes, I'm a Brock Purdy, quote, hater, because I don't think he's a $55 million quarterback. And if you take all of his weapons away, you're going to have a problem. A la Baker Mayfield, who's 6 spots behind him. A la Aaron Rodgers, who at the end there in Green Bay, things weren't awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Things weren't awesome for Kirk Cousins. It was great when he got Justin Jefferson. There was a whole period before that he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
He's not elite. Matthew Stafford, for years and years and years in Detroit where he didn't have the pieces around him. We all knew he was talented. It didn't matter. Brock Purdy has great pieces around him. Do I think he's a great quarterback? No. Mm-mm. I think he is the definition of a game manager that with the right amount of talent and the right amount of ability to put guys in the right position to produce after the catch, you can do some great things. Let me ask you a question. I'm going to give you an analogy, and I thought about Brock Purdy when we started talking about this. So I was really working on what I was going to say to appropriately explain what I mean here. I'm going to make a basketball reference. Basketball just started, as you do.
Mm-hmm.
Name me the 3 greatest point guards that ever lived. Just off the top of your head. Just first 3 names come to your mind.
Oh, God. Magic would have to be up there.
Magic's certainly number 1 for me. Isaiah Thomas should be up there pretty high.
Thomas is up there.
Steph Curry should be up there pretty high.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go with those 3.
Yeah.
You know who you didn't know? You know who and I guarantee you the name never even crossed your mind?
Yep.
John Stockton.
Nope. Not once.
It didn't even cross your mind.
Nope.
Doesn't mean he wasn't great.
I thought about Gary Payton first.
Mm-hmm. John Stockton was the best distributor in the history of the NBA. Statistically. That's not an opinion. That's a fact.
Yes.
He has more assists than any point guard ever. That makes you the best distributor that's ever lived.
I was thinking Steve Nash, but yeah, they're close.
Steve was more of a scorer, but that's a whole other argument.
Sure.
Brock Purdy is the John Stockton of quarterbacks. The best ability that he has is that he can get a ball to guys in the right situation and let their natural ability take over. Here's the problem with that. When you don't have guys that can do that, it doesn't really matter. Without Karl Malone, John Stockton's just a guy that doesn't really like to shoot. Doesn't mean he's bad. It's just kind of hard to win championships that way. That's my problem with Brock Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not telling you he's Bo Nix. That's not the point. The point is you have a very finite window of being able to do what you're doing if you're going to take big boy money. Doesn't mean he's bad.
Mm-hmm. It just means that you're going to be in a hell of a position if you're the team that has to give him $55 million, which the San Francisco 49ers find themselves trapped in that scenario. I mean, is there any way that doesn't happen? Because I don't think so. I'm not sure that there's a script on how this season could end where Brock Purdy's not getting the bag from San Francisco. I mean, aside from him coming out and being the worst quarterback you have ever seen, like he comes out and is 10 times worse than Zach Wilson for the next 10 weeks, he's getting the bag from San Francisco. And that is a sad position to be in because he's not going to have those weapons. He doesn't have them now. And can you honestly look at this team as a San Francisco 49er fan and go, yep, I want to keep doing this. I want to keep doing this with no Christian McCaffrey because he ain't going to be here for much longer. I don't think his career lasts all that much longer. Debo, always hurt. Ayuk's done for the year. Who knows where that goes after this? It's a lot of question marks. And I think you're stuck.
I do too. I think you had a window when he was really, really cheap. You take the weapons away, and what he does best kind of goes away.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. How about number 11 on the board?
Kyler Murray!
Oh, I was wondering when that name was going to show up.
He has kind of a Justin Herbert quality of a little bit of empty calories, but he is talented. There's no doubt about that. In terms of just natural talent, he belongs this high. I just don't know that you're ever going to be able to win with him. And there have been guys like that over the course of time. I mean, I hate to say it, Dan Marino's a really high-end example of that. Not because of anything he did. He was super talented. There were issues there, though. Running backs didn't want to play with him because he really didn't like handing the ball off.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was the Lamar Jackson situation.
Yeah.
It was, I'm not going to get the tote because the ball's always in Kyler's hands. If he's not throwing it, he's running it. Well, he doesn't do that anymore. Or the scheme doesn't run that way anymore. And now I think over the last, what's it been? We're 7 games into this season, and it was 8 games of last year. I feel like if you just isolated those numbers and you're a numbers guy, you're going to look at Kyler Murray and go, this is way better than I thought it was going to be.
For sure. He's a way better NFL quarterback than I ever thought he would be.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't know if it supports winning.
Yep. Half an hour to go in the program. We got 10 quarterbacks left in the midseason quarterback ranking here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
More of what we see is what we get, and it's blue sky, and the nice deep blue sky, and the dry weather continuing over the next several days. We might not see rain for the rest of the month. Sunny today, 75, tonight in the upper 40s. Thursday and Friday, low to mid-70s, and again, mostly sunny. And our weekends are going to have sunshine. Cooler weather by Sunday, though. Saturday, 75 and sunny. Sunday, sunny, 65. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. Any size soft drinks for $1. Wendy's has any size a la carte $1 soft drinks. Coke, Sprite, Strawberry Fanta, whatever you want. Any size soft drink for $1? Gotta be Wendy's. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
If you missed our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival presented by Capital One.
Las Vegas, make some noise!
Watch the best moments exclusively on Hulu right now.
All right, you guys are out for a party, I can tell.
See the biggest festival headliners from around the world assembled on one stage on one show.
This iHeart
energy is so incredible. See it all at our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Streaming only on Hulu right now.
Does your home need a new look? Step into a world of flooring possibilities at the Carpet Barn. Plush carpet, sleek hardwood, stylish tile. The Carpet Barn has it all. Whether you want comfort, durability, or that wow factor, you'll find it in their 300,000 square feet of flooring options. Find the perfect floor for your lifestyle and budget. Head to CarpetBarnCarolina.com for your free in-home estimate now. Veteran owned and operated. The Carpet Barn, the one-stop shop for flooring.
Have you taken advantage of your dental benefits for 2023? Make your appointment now to get in before December 31st at Summit Dental. Most dental insurance covers 2 cleanings and exams a year. Contact Summit Dental now to take full advantage of your plan. Summit Dental also has a full range of professional services, from crowns and fillings, implants, teeth whitening, and more. Plus, they're accepting new patients. Visit AshevilleSummitDental.com and schedule your appointment now to get in before the end of the year.
Dan Scott here, inviting you to check out my new show every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. here on ESPN Asheville, where we bring sports and faith together. The Dan Scott Show, 8 a.m. Sundays on ESPN Asheville.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chips and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town packaged fresh every day. And smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real. In the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
Oh, you're in the Sportsocracy. It's ESPN Asheville. It's 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Yeah, where's we forgot to go get the Kyler Murray sound effect, the little running sound that you made yesterday. Do it again. What was it? Come on. Oh, little scoot. He comes in at number 11 on the midseason power ranking. Brock Purdy was at 12.
Yes.
And
we're to the top 10.
We are, and at number 10,
Samuel Darnold, MVP.
Old Sammy D, MVP. Minnesota Vikings golden boy himself. And Jeremy's new poster child for a guy can suck on ice for 5 years and then all of a sudden go, oh, he's pretty good.
Yeah,
look at that.
The argument was Sam Darnold. And we said before the show that there was only one.
There's only one that we almost came to blows to.
Because your take on it doesn't make any sense.
My take that he was terrible and now surprisingly he's good.
And you said that's never happened before. Geno Smith sure has. Baker Mayfield should not have been in the NFL. If you take the first 4 years of Baker Mayfield's career, he was not an NFL quarterback, period. And he lost to Sam Darnold in a heads-up competition. The only reason that Baker ever played a game for the Carolina Panthers was because Sam Darnold had been B-A-double-D bad after the best 4-game stretch any quarterback had ever had in the franchise's history. Sam Darnold's always been talented. There are guys around this league that when you get around scouts, we just laugh and go, they never had a prayer. When I was at the Senior Bowl last year, I'm not going to name names here, but if you've listened to this show long enough, you could probably figure out the guys that I'm close to and the guys that I probably was sitting with during this event. Sam Darnold came up more than once of, if he ever got a real shot there's no telling what he could do because we all loved him. Every single one of us loved him as a prospect. There was raw because he was super young. He had to learn a few things, and I think he learned a lot of those in San Francisco. I really do. I think he learned a lot about not compounding errors, not letting an error drive him crazy, not letting it not spiraling. He had to mature, and he did. And you said, well, it's easy to be good with Justin Jefferson.
Yes.
I don't dispute that. I don't dispute that Justin Jefferson helps. I would dare you to tell me what else on that team is making you feel warm and fuzzy. Because I would give you $1 if you could name me the tight end right now. Because it ain't T.J. Hawkins, and he ain't played it down.
Right.
Aaron Jones has been hurt for half the year, and it's been Ty Chandler. And there's been way more Jalen Naylor. Yeah, you've got the best receiver in the NFL. You take that out and look at what he's got around him, I could argue that's a bottom 5 set of weapons in the NFL. The tight end, by the way, is Johnny Munt.
Ah, there you go.
That's what he's winning with. It's Justin Jefferson and a bunch of dudes with a little sprinkling of good old-fashioned Aaron Jones. It's a good defense at times. I think it's a little smoke and mirrors, but I know if you refuse to allow yourself to think that maybe you were wrong on Sam Darnold and it was situation, that you see him at 10 and go, that doesn't make any sense. To win a game right now, to save your life, tell me which guy you would take that's behind him.
Kyler Murray.
I think you're out of your mind. Because in every big game I've ever seen him play, he has been an absolute disaster. Kyler Murray succeeds when nobody expects him to succeed. Brock Purdy, I've already given you my thought process on him. The 3 directly behind him are 38 years old or older. That's where Sam belongs. For me, in terms of just sheer talent, that's where he belongs.
Yep.
And have him any higher than that. I don't have him ahead of the guy at 9, who we all know I'm not a huge fan of.
It's real hard to believe that a guy you never thought was good is good.
So you didn't think he was good coming into the NFL?
I mean, fine. He's a USC quarterback, and he might be good. He might not be. And then when I saw him with the Jets, I went, oh, okay, that makes sense. I saw him with the Panthers. I went, no, there was some good there.
So your helmet scouting, that's what you're telling me? Is that, he was a USC quarterback, which means he just instantaneously
pretty
sucks?
Much. Because they all have, for the most part.
And they all did for a very specific reason. Because you had Pete Carroll that was recruiting high-end talent. You had Reggie Bush and all the other weapons they had to throw to. Sam Darnold didn't have any of that. And guess what? You know who else I could say that about? Ohio State. Ohio State quarterbacks have absolutely sucked on ice until C.J. Stroud showed up.
Yep.
And now they don't.
Well, I mean, we don't know that. CJ may just be the outlier.
Nobody will ever say Ohio State quarterbacks can't play in the NFL again. Ever.
Really? Okay.
Not until you've had 5 more bad ones, because you got one that's a top 5 quarterback in the league that might end up being the second best quarterback in the league. Yeah, that tends to dispel those myths. I hate when people helmet scout. I hate it. And that's what makes me so angry about Stroud's that I fell into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Number 9.
Jordan Love. Do I think he's the 9th best quarterback in the NFL? No. But I do think he has a Brett Favre element of, after so long, I keep watching you make risky decisions, and they work. And you just kind of have to throw your hands up and go, okay. Do I think he's ever going to be an elite quarterback? No, I don't. But I think he's going to live in a perpetual state of about right here.
At number 8.
Dakota Prescott. And that's one I feel like I'm going to get pushback on, and I don't know why.
Well, there's only so much pushback that you can give on Dak Prescott. I mean, I guess you can go down the same path that I went down on Sam Darnold, of he's got one receiver that makes him really good. The guy's been good.
I was about to say he was good before CeeDee
Right.
Lamb was ever here.
Right. He's been good. He's had some weapons. He's had some disadvantages. The Dallas Cowboys are an absolute disappointment as a franchise year in and year out. Dak gets a lot of that flack because he's the quarterback of that team. But is he the reason they haven't won?
No.
No.
I could make the argument he's the only reason that they've gone as far as they have. Because this team is dysfunctional as all get out. He's been like the one consistent. And they have consistently been in the playoffs. They haven't advanced much in the playoffs, but they've always been around. They're never 4-12 or 4-13 now. That's just not who he is. And if you look at him over the course of his career, he's a 3-to-1 touchdown to interception guy that doesn't get sacked a ton outside of one incredible outlier year. Took 24 more sacks in 1 year than he's taken in any other year in his career.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I pull up a stat log on Dak Prescott, I always come back to that year and go, what happened there? That's bizarre. It was in a 16-game season. You got sacked 56 times. You never 39. Sorry, I did math. 17 more times. Outside of that, yeah, there's been some bumps. And no, I don't think he's elite.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is a stat accumulator that will always keep you in it. He may not win it, but he'll always keep you in it.
So, Detroit Matt Stafford.
No, because those teams were way worse. And now I could argue the talent around Dak Prescott is not really good enough for them to be a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
If he gets this team to the playoffs, I might have to revisit that. He might be too low.
Yeah.
I can't put him any higher than this, but I think he gets a lot of undue. If Dak Prescott did this for the same two teams that are coming up of the next two teams on this list, we would revere them forever. The fact he's the Dallas Cowboy quarterback and they're not winning Super Bowls, he gets undue criticism for that.
Okay, number 7.
Jared Goff. There is nothing he does at an elite level. There is also nothing that he doesn't do at a above average level.
Mm-hmm.
He is the definition of he's good at everything. Doesn't turn the ball over a crazy amount, doesn't take a crazy amount of sacks, plays within the offense, knows his role in the offense, perfect teammate, everybody loves him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's one of the best leaders in the NFL.
He still has and will always have that ability, though, to make the boneheaded play. And it can cost his team at times. Everybody does that.
I was about to say, name
human.
me the guy that does
Exactly. Right. Like, everybody's human. Jared Goff was terrible in that last year in L.A.
He was terrible, really, the last 3 years in L.A. The team was just so good.
Mm-hmm.
He threw a ton of picks.
Mm-hmm.
His last 3 years in L.A., he threw 41 interceptions. He hasn't thrown 41 interceptions in Detroit in 4 years.
Yeah.
He's barely thrown 30.
All of a sudden, he came to Detroit. It was a new scenery. It was a new gig, and he's got this team on the doorstep of a Super Bowl.
And I think he has a lot to do with that.
Yeah, and it'll be the second team that he's taken there. Of course, it's got a lot to do with him. The deliverer of the quarterback, or the deliverer of the football, obviously gets a lot of credit here.
Well, I mean, for me, it's not even the point guy part of it. He is a leader in this locker room.
Mm-hmm.
And listen to anybody in Detroit talk about him. That's what they always come back to. He sets the tone. We follow it.
Yep.
And by the way, you're Sam Darnold. Name me a quarterback that's ever been really bad to start, and then all this.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Goff wasn't this in L.A. Jared Goff went to a Super Bowl, and he never looked like this in L.A. He had 1 year where he had unbelievable, to quote Bill Walton, weapons, and was a 4-to-1 touchdown interception guy. Other than that, he was notorious for making that god-awful, break your back, got you right to the edge, and let you down.
Yep.
Then he went to Detroit, and he's not that anymore.
Yeah. At number 6.
Well, this is the impetus of the whole thing. Who is the best quarterback in the NFC? And it is Jaden Daniels. I have him at 6.
Mm-hmm. It's hard not to. Again, I understand the complete lack of awareness or self-awareness here, because I can look at 7 games of Jaden Daniels and go, I'd rather have that guy than Sam Darnold. It's only because I have the past of Sam Darnold to look at and go, that brings him down for me. Jaden Daniels, on the other hand, right now I don't know that the league has figured him out. And
they haven't. He's a different kid.
Yeah, and that is why he's so high on this ranking, because right now I would absolutely take him over some of these guys, and probably would take him over one of the guys that you're going to say coming up in the top 5. I just don't remember who those guys are right now off the top of my head.
I think you're smoking crumbs if you would take him over any of the guys in the top 5. But, I mean, how many times did I tell you in the pre-draft process, I absolutely love Jaden Daniels, and I'm terrified that he winds up in New England in a situation where nobody can succeed in the first handful of years. Then Washington falls in love with him, and I went, that offense might be good. I thought the defense was so bad that it wasn't going to matter.
Yeah.
They were going to be like Arizona and be really annoying, but not be able to beat you. Well, come to find out, Jaden Daniels is even better than I thought he was.
I was going to say, it should have. That's how that should have gone down.
He's that special.
He's that good.
He's changed the culture in Washington in, 16 weeks?
Mm-hmm. Number 5.
C.J. Stroud. I love this narrative that he's been disappointing in some shape, form, or fashion. I think it's maybe the most laughably stupid thing that I've heard in a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch him, watch the game. Don't just sit there and watch Red Zone and let 58 minutes of a game go by and all you saw was the highlights. Actually watch the tape. C.J. Stroud is an elite quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jaden Daniels can be an elite quarterback. He's just so young that it's hard for me to put that on him yet. I want to see the full year. I don't need more than that. But I need to see how you wear through the entirety of an NFL season. I've already seen it with C.J. Stroud. He went into the playoffs and punched the Cleveland Browns in the mouth. That's impressive. And I think he's going to do it again. And they've got a ton of weapons, and he allocates the ball, and I haven't heard one bit of whining out of Stephon Diggs. And I don't think you will.
Yeah. How about number 4?
Joe Burr.
That's the one. That's the one I look at and go, I don't know right now. Right now, if I had to have somebody win a game for me, I don't know that Joe is this high on the list.
And I'm going to say I think you're smoking crumbs. If I could have gotten Joe Burrow into the top 3, I would have. There's just no way to put him there.
Really?
Because there are 3 that I just trust way more than that.
Mm-hmm.
I can blame Cincinnati's 3 and 4 start on a lot of dudes. The 14 touchdown, 2 interception, 70.5 completion percentage quarterback ain't one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You got one quarterback who's here for a short time or for a good time, not a long time. You got another one that wants all the money in the world. You got a lot of things happening in Cincinnati. That ain't Joe Burrow's fault. I think he's as elite as they come. And the reason that I look at Cincinnati and go, yeah, they're going to figure this out. It doesn't have squat to do with Zach Taylor. It doesn't have squat to do with Jamar Chase. It doesn't have squat to do with T. Higgins. It has everything to do with Joe Burrow.
Number 3.
Lamar Jackson.
Get no qualms out of me with him.
I fall into a problem with Lamar Jackson of how this question was asked. I'm not listing who I would vote for MVP. I'm listing if I had to win a game to save my life, who's it going to be? And I can't put Lamar Jackson ahead of Josh Allen, and I can't put him ahead of Patrick Mahomes. I can't do it. I've seen you lose those games too many times. Now, that being said, I can't put Josh Allen ahead of Patrick Mahomes. Statistically, is Pat the best quarterback in the NFL? No. Right now, to me, MVP is a 3-horse race depending on really how you look at it. If it's just who is the most valuable player to their team, and it has to be a team that's good, it's Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
If it's getting the most out of the least and giving your team the best chance to succeed, it's Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
If it's most valuable player, it's Sam Darnold. Because you are a backup quarterback, quote unquote. He was going to be the starter anyway. Nobody wants to believe that, but it's true.
Mm-hmm.
You are a bridge quarterback that took a team from maybe you could contend for 6-11, and you've brought this whole team together to where now you are a legit contender in the NFC. Sam's not as talented, but it's not most talented player award. It's most valuable player award. Lamar is a special dude. It's a whole system that you have to build around Lamar Jackson. Josh Allen, I kind of feel like they're just throwing things against the wall to see what sticks. Go get Amari Cooper. Then all of a sudden, Keon Coleman has his best game of the year in Amari Cooper's first game, which stands to reason because he was playing 2 instead of 1.
Yep.
You've got James Cook. You've had Ty Johnson, Ray Davis. It's just a mishmash of dudes. The one constant is Josh Allen. And to me, that makes him 2.
Yep. And then Patrick Mahomes at 1.
Is there any cohesive argument that you could come up with for him not to be 1?
No.
I don't think there is one.
No, he's a winner like any and none other. He can pull plays like none other. There's nobody that has the ability to make something out of nothing like he can. Lamar's close with his leg, but Patrick can do it anyway.
The greatest of all time, the only real GOAT, the nature boy Ric Flair, said to be the man, you got to beat the man. And until one of you does that, I'm just going to keep listing him at 1 because you don't seem to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can give me a one off of, well, Joe Burrow did it once. Yeah. Josh Allen did it once too. Check his record against him. He wins.
Yep.
Rings speak volumes. He's got them. You don't.
Mm-hmm. Rings speak volumes. And so does cash. And you can win some with the start of the NBA season and figure out who's the king of the court every night. Does your favorite NBA player have what it takes to be the king of the court? You can find out at the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. DraftKings is offering $1 million a day in bonus bets for the first 10 days of the NBA season. Today is day 2 of the NBA season. That's $10 million in bonus bets, and here's how you shoot your shot. Opt in and get a daily NBA Profit Boost token. Pick a pregame NBA player prop to boost, and if that player leads the league that night in points, plus rebounds, plus assists, you win a share of $1 million in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code WPEK. That's code WPEK to win a share of $1 million in bonus bets if your player is the king of the court only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. One NBA prop bet profit boost per customer. Tokens expire at the start of the final NBA game each day that it's offered. Use the token on PRA Stat Leader to receive equal share of $1 million in non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 168 hours. Additional wagering restrictions apply. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/bball.
Matthew Hoffman won that last night with Anthony Davis, and he and I are going with Giannis Antetokounmpo tonight.
Excellent. You're in the Sportsocracy. We'll be back with you tomorrow at noon right here in the Ingles studio.
Need assistance from the recent disaster and want in-person help? You can find your nearest FEMA Disaster Recovery Center by visiting FEMA.gov/DRC or use disasterassistance.gov to apply with FEMA today.
When it comes to electrical needs in Asheville, trust the experts at Grigg Electric. Veteran-owned and operated, Grigg Electric is Asheville's #1 choice for electrical services. They offer a variety of electrical services for residential, commercial, or industrial installations in Buncombe, Henderson, Madison, McDowell, and Yancey counties. Call Grigg Electric today, 828-232-0021. That's 828-232-0021. Serving Western North Carolina since 1976. Online at griggelectric.com.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. So many of you have told me about your plans for the future. Starting a business, buying a home, retiring near your grandchildren. But prices are too high. So let me tell you what I will do about it as president. I will take on price gouging. I will lower the cost of healthcare insurance. We cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors. I'm running to do that for everyone. And I will provide new down payment assistance to first-time home buyers and tax benefits to people who want to start their own business. Donald Trump, well, he wants to give more tax breaks to the wealthy, whereas I will cut taxes for the middle class instead. Because I know working people want to do more than just get by. You want to get ahead, and that's the future you deserve. And that is what I will focus on every day as your president. Paid for by Harris for President.
Don't go hungry in the wake of Hurricane Helene. Western North Carolinians who lost income and have disaster-related expenses can get help buying food with DSNAP, the Disaster Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Call 1-844-453-1117 today, or find where you can apply at www.ncdhhs.gov/DSNAP. Apply by October 24th. Get help, get DSNAP, get food. 1-844-453-1117.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Or what we see is what we get, and it's blue sky, the nice deep blue sky, and the dry weather continuing over the next several days. We might not see rain for the rest of the month. Sunny today, 75, tonight in the upper 40s. Thursday and Friday, low to mid 70s, and again, mostly sunny. And our weekend's going to have sunshine. Cooler weather by Sunday, though. Saturday, 75 and sunny. Sunday, sunny, 65. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by LifeLock.
As Cybersecurity Awareness Month wraps up, remember to update your software to fix security issues that identity thieves exploit to steal personal info. And for comprehensive identity theft protection, choose LifeLock. Start your 30-day free trial today at lifelock.com/cybersafety.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.